time it is.
Late.
Well, it's only gone 9:30, that's all.
Yeah, well, we overslept, Betty. I mean, it happens.
Yeah. Oh, it's all right for some.
I just didn't hear the alarm, Betty, love.
I don't need an alarm, love. I wake every morning at 7 without fail.
Some of us are only human.
You what?
Nothing.
Oh, well, I suppose I better make a start.
If you would.
Well, somebody better.
Oh, good. I've got a thumping great headache.
So have I. Give me one of them.
Yeah?
Oh, God, what a night.
Oh, you can say that again. When I eventually did get to sleep, I dreamt I would die and woke up in a cold sweat.
I kept telling myself I were asleep and everything were a dream.
It wasn't, was it?
No. I'm in the pudding club, Alec, definitely.
Oh, God.
Oh, I wish you'd stop sighing.
Well, I'm sorry. Look, talking about tablets, pills.
Where about them?
Well, I take it you haven't been taking it. The pill.
Have I eckers like I never dreamt for a minute?
Yeah, I see.
Oh, you're not trying to put the blame on me, are you?
No.
Did it ever occur to you I'd get preggers?
Well, it's not a word I've exactly conjured with, no.
Well, then. Oh, my God.
No sighing.
Well, I mean, a flipping baby at our time of life.
I mean, must it be a baby?
What are you talking about?
I mean, could it have been something older?
Oh, you must be joking.
Oh, God, no, I think it's hysteria, actually, that's set in.
You don't know the first thing about them, do you? Babies.
What do you?
I've had one. I can just about remember what he looked like. Only just.
I can't even claim that. I didn't even see my own daughter. Well, my wife was only 3 months gone when she ran off with that footballer.
We're a pair, aren't we?
Yeah. Still, I mean, it might not even have been mine. Though I'm assuming this one definitely is.
What?
I say I'm assuming he or she is mine. Or a flaming sheik.
A sheik's?
Well, I've just been to Morocco.
I never even saw a flaming sheik in Morocco. They were all either camel drivers or carpet salesmen. Any danger I was in was from randy English husbands. Oh, it's yours all right, Alec, no question.
All right, I'm just making sure.
What are we going to do?
God, I don't know. One thing's for sure. I'm going to be the subject of a lot of rough and ready humour.
I can stand that, love, can you?
I think so. And you pushing a pram down Bosselman Street's going to take a bit of getting used to.
It'll turn my life upside down. 9 months of turning pear-shaped. Worrying myself sick, it'll be all right. That's just for starters, even before it's born.
I mean, you are sure, are you? I mean, 100% that, you know, that you are.
I'm in the club, Alec. You're going to be a father. You might as well get used to the idea.
Well, I am trying, Bet, but I mean, it's a hell of a shock. I mean, it's not easy.
It's not easy for me either. How many of them are you taking?
Oh, God, you see, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing, do I?
Morning, Ken.
Morning.
Late start, late finish. Is that the way you like to work?
I had a call to make on the way in. On an appetizer.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not snooping at you.
Never crossed my mind you were.
You see, I'm a workaholic. Work gives me a buzz. It gets the adrenaline going. It gives an edge to life.
There are other things in life besides work.
I've not found many. What gives you a buzz, Ken?
Well,
Steve phoned Ken. He says he's got the picture of the year for you.
Yeah, well, every picture he takes is the picture of the year, according to Steve.
He's a good lad to see this photography that you use.
Very, very. He'll go far.
Why not put him on the start?
Can't afford to.
Well, if he's that good, he could work for the group.
You trying to poach him?
You're part of the group now, Ken.
Yes, of course. Keep forgetting.
I know you don't believe me yet, but it is better being a family man. That's how I like to see the group, as a family, all pulling together, helping each other. There is strength in numbers, Ken.
Yes, but not much independence.
I'm going to enjoy changing your mind, Ken. Converting you to the corporate man.
Yeah, but you're not, are you? You're not the corporate man. You're very much your own man.
I'm the boss.
Ah, yes, that does guarantee independence, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Does this place run through a coffee machine?
Yes, I am.
I could kill a cup.
Right. Ken?
Please.
How long has she been with you?
Oh, a couple of years. She's my right-hand woman.
Really? I think you need somebody a bit more dynamic on your right hand, Ken. Somebody under 40.
Oh, hello, lovey. You feeling better?
Yes, thanks.
Were you really feeling poorly last night? What to do with Mike?
Oh, I finished with him, Betty. I told him straight yesterday.
Oh, you must have been upset still. It's for the best, love. There wasn't much of a future for you with Mike.
No, I must have been bone stupid to ever think there was. But then I am stupid about fellas, aren't I, Betty?
Well, perhaps a bit too trusting, Chuck.
But why do they always have to let you down? I mean, why can't they be straight with you? Instead of lying and pretending.
They're not all like that, you know.
Yeah, most of them are. Anyway, where is everybody?
It's a very good question. Jack's got one of his hide-and-seek moods on, and the landlord and landlady haven't made an appearance yet.
I went very fat in the face last time. I had at least 3 chins.
Oh, for God's sake, don't start getting morbid about it already, Bet.
Well, it might be already to you. My body's been changing for 10 weeks now.
10 weeks? How can you be that precise?
Because my little short, fat, hairy-legged friend, I think I can remember precisely when it happened.
When?
Do you remember that night when we went to the Little Gem Club? There was a full moon. You kept leaping about saying that you felt immortal. I thought it was the half bottle of brandy you'd sucked, but no, it must have been the sap rising.
A Little Gem Club. I remember that. We were a night and a half with that. So it must be mine.
Yes, love.
Yes.
When you stop grinning like a melon, are we going to keep the happy event to ourselves, or are you going to throw a party at the Piccadilly and announce it there?
Oh, no, let's just keep it to ourselves. I mean, for as long as it's practical.
You are embarrassed about it, then?
No, it's just the longer we keep it to ourselves, the fewer the opportunities for the likes of Jack Duckworth to smirk and make nappy jokes. Oh, God, you know it's going to undermine me image and me authority as this lot, you know. It'll be even worse when I pull my hanky out of my pocket and a couple of flaming rusks fall out.
You're not going to change shape in sympathy you're out, you know. Although I believe it's not unheard of for the father to have morning sickness as well.
Really? I did feel a bit liverish this morning.
Oh. There you have it.
Right.
I see you moving into Mrs. Ogden's today, then.
Well, actually, Mr. Sugden, it's just a dry run, you know, a dummy run. He's moving in for real tomorrow.
You know, it's obviously there's one thing you're not studying at this college you go to, and that's humour, because that attempt at it were pathetic. What I was going to say, if you need any expert help, like getting large items of furniture around awkward corners, don't hesitate to ask.
Thanks, Mr. Sugden. We'll keep that in mind.
I've had a lot of experience, you know, in removal work, like moving field kitchens, usually under artillery fire. You know, I don't think even the army could have made much of you.
Well, you asked for that, Curly, mate.
Hey, who does Percy remind you of?
No, no.
Field Marshal Montgomery.
He does a bit, but don't ever sell him. Right, double top.
Oh, is it? Oh, my neck.
Everything all right, Betty?
Well, we've opened up. We've had no complaints from anybody so far.
Where's Jacko?
Well, I think he's taking root in the cellar. I mean, he could be doing his pools or plucking his eyebrows. I mean, take your pick.
I'll go and retrieve him by the luggo.
How about yourself? You all right?
Never been better.
Yeah. Must be all the rest you're getting.
Sarcasm does not become you, Betty. It definitely doesn't go with your hair.
Where's she off to now?
Now, look, does it matter? It's obviously one of her lady muck days. I mean, Mrs. Walker used to have them, you know. In fact, in the end, that's all she did have. Ooh.
Hi.
Hi. Vodka and tonic, please. Come on for yourself.
I'm fine, thanks. Don't look round, Betty. I guess who that is at the bar.
Well, I've no idea.
The one who was in Mike's flat the other night.
She the one who was bothering me? Hmm? What's she doing in here? Mm.
Thanks. Don't worry, it's my first today. I'm not drunk yet. Thanks.
Thanks.
Has Mike been in?
No, he hasn't.
Well, he usually comes in at lunchtimes, doesn't he?
Not always.
He's not in the office. At least that's what they told me on the phone.
Yeah, I saw him driving off somewhere earlier on.
Oh, thanks. I've left him.
Who?
Graham, my husband. No, I really have this time.
Have you?
I bet you think I'm daft, don't you? I mean, the boat's gone with Mike after the other night, I know that. But I can't stay with Graham. I'm not that good an actress. Well, especially not after I've had one or two. In vino veritas.
Look, Linda, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's my own fault. I'm not here chasing after Mike.
Aren't you?
I knew that's what you were thinking. Look, Graham's taken it badly. His pride's been hurt. He's looking for someone to blame. He can't accept that I'm just fed up to the back teeth with him.
Linda, I don't know
I
what
shot my mouth off when we were arguing about Mike and me. So it's Mike he's gunning for. Now, he's got a very nasty, violent streak, has Graham. Oh, I know Mike's a swine, but I wouldn't like to see him get hurt. So, when you see him, if you could just warn him to be careful when it gets dark.
No.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know about you, but I could do with some lunch.
Yeah, I'll just finish this.
Taking a cue from the new boss already, are you?
Hmm?
Working during your lunch break?
Oh, I'm not a workaholic, Janet, no way.
Do you think there are likely to be many changes?
Oh, I don't think so. Well, nothing very dramatic, anyway.
Oh, good. I like my little job here. Suits me, and it's cosy. See you later, then.
Bye, Janet.
You're finding changes death, Mr. Salem.
Hello, Bob. I thought you'd be winging your way to your villa in Spain.
Ken, are you very busy?
Oh, nothing that can't wait, really.
My conscience has been pricking me these past few days.
Usual for you, that, isn't it?
Very, I don't like it one little bit. I hope you don't think I landed you in it. Selling out my share to the Clarion Group.
Oh, I'd have preferred if you'd sold it to me.
I suppose I didn't give you enough time to raise the brass.
You didn't.
I think you'd be all right, though, Ken. All you're doing is swapping me for Nick Kavanagh. He's younger and better looking.
Yeah, but you were virtually a sleeping partner, Bob. He isn't going to be.
You do think I landed you in it, don't you?
Well, I think what you've done is present me with a challenge.
Is that bad?
Oh, I'll know better when I've got the measure of Mr. Kavanagh.
He's got a good track record.
Well, that's a challenge, isn't it? Whether I can keep pace with an aging yuppie in training shoes.
What you lack in stamina, you make up for in nous. Now, you're not sure of that, are you, Ken?
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Can I buy you a drink?
Your conscience must be pricking you.
Only till I get to me villa in Spain.
We want some pound coins in here. I say, we want some pound coins in here.
All right. No need to bawl at me. I'll get you some.
What is the matter with her today? Cramped as a rusty hinge one minute, daydreamer the next. You never know when you've got the woman.
You said the same about them.
She's been acting very strange since she come back from Morocco.
I'm sorry to bother you when you're eating, but is Mike back yet, Emily? Well, when I say back, I saw him going out somewhere this morning.
I doubt he will be back, I'm afraid. Well, not till early evening. He's gone to see a customer in Liverpool.
Oh.
Well, he'll probably phone in if it's a message.
No, it doesn't matter. It was, well, it was something and nothing, you know. Sorry again.
Are they having an affair, her and Mr. Baldwin?
They do seem to be more than just good friends.
What is it that men find so attractive about Gloria?
Well, she is very pretty.
Yes, in an obvious sort of way. I mean,
There's nothing subtle about her, though.
Men seem to prefer the obvious, don't they? I mean, the blonde bombshell is as old as history.
I know, it's very dispiriting. I mean, especially when you know you've got so much more to offer. I mean, I read a novel a week. 2 sometimes in wet weather.
You haven't really got much time left for dazzling men, then, have you?
We're short of small change now.
Place is going to the dogs, Betty. See, businesses do when gaffers fall out. I once had a nice little number myself, selling firewood. Till my business partner objected to me making up the bundles with wads of paper.
Oh, shut up, Jack. Excuse me, but we could do with some small change.
Oh, don't bother me with trivialities, Betty. I have a lot on my mind today.
Well, I'm fed up with this. Carry on.
Yeah.
Oh, is this a late breakfast or an early lunch?
I was feeling a bit peckish, Betty. But your hot pot's on top form today.
Yeah, just as well, ain't it? Because nobody else has been pulling the weight today.
I said I was sorry for getting up late.
Yeah, but you've done that since you got up, have you? Neither has he. Look, we're short of small change, love.
10 quid's worth of silver over there.
Oh, right. Ta. Enjoy your dinner.
Betty. I'm eating for 2.
What did you say?
I meant family way, love.
You?
Well, don't look so flipping gobsmacked. Yeah, me.
I don't believe it.
It's true. Medical science has confirmed it.
When?
Well, I'm 2 months gone, so it's sometime in October.
I don't know what to say, love. I mean, I'm pleased.
Ah, more shell-shocked.
Well, you will be. I mean, how about him?
Grumpy? Oh, well, he's wandering about bemused, as you've obviously noticed.
Still, a baby.
A miracle, more like.
Well, congratulations, lovey. No, I mean that. From my heart, lovey.
Thanks, Betty, love. Will you keep it to yourself for now?
Yeah, of course I will. Eat as much of that oppet as you want, lovey. Oh, you're a bit of a dark horse, aren't you?
Eh?
Daddy?
What the hell's going on?
What?
You've told Betty.
Oh, well, I had to tell somebody, Alec. I mean, I was bursting. Betty won't blab.
You know what she called me?
What?
Daddy.
Well, yeah.
You know, I've had a lot of dreams, Bet. Some of them fulfilled, most of them not.
Marrying me were.
Yeah. Yeah, it were. Mind you, I never dreamt of having kids. I mean, they're a sort of alien species to me. I mean, not quite human until they've turned 21.
They can be a great joy, Alec. Take my word for it.
I suppose so. And mind you, I mean, if it's a boy, I mean, he'll continue the line, won't he? Another Alec Gilroy in the world.
Yeah.
And I mean, and of course, not everybody can manage it, you know.
Oh, that's very true.
Oh, it is, it's true.
It is true.
Yeah. You know something? I think I'm warming to this idea.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Because I definitely am love.
Daddy.
Daddy.
Bloody incredible.
You got a minute, Mike?
Oh, hi, yeah.
This is my brother, John.
Oh, pleased to meet you.
Got some news for you. That is, if you don't know already.
Oh?
Linda's left me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's down to you, Joey!
Stupid, what's it got to do with me?
You're always rushing your own work these days.
I always get it right, so what's the problem?
You being too clever for your own good, that's the problem. You're not going to Katie's tomorrow.
All right.
You know, that daughter of yours is getting cheekier by the minute. What's the matter?
Nothing. No, just ruminating on the day's event.
Oh, wish I had time to ruminate.
Can I help?
Yeah, you do the sports. So, has your day been eventful then?
Very.
Oh, tell me.
Well, Bob Statham called round to apologise.
Oh,
I think he's worried he might have thrown me to the lions. Well, lions.
oh, it's a bit late being worried now. Are you worried?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, positive. I mean, I'm not kidding myself. There are not going to be problems with Mr. Kavanagh like one surfaced today.
Oh, what sort of problem?
Well, I don't think he sees much of a future for Janet.
Oh, what's she done?
Nothing. Just presents the wrong image, and he's very image conscious.
Well, he couldn't fire her over your head, could he?
I don't think he'd even try. So it should be interesting to see how he goes about it.
Oh, poor old Janet. Make her sound like a laboratory experiment.
She is, in a way.
Be careful with that, you two, because if you drop it, I'm going to crown you.
Can you keep it level? It's breaking me back. Oh, I've not got long arms like you, have I? Shift yourself, Sal.
Oh, Mr. Baldwin, are you all right?
All right, Mr. Baldwin? You had an accident or something?
No, I'm okay. I'll be all right.
What's happened to him?
Looks like he's been thumped. The thump's hard.
Yes, lady. 2 sweet sherries. What are you going to ask her?
Well, I don't know if I should.
Well, she was asking about Mr. Baldwin at dinner time, so she might know something. There you are. Thank you, that's right. Thanks.
You haven't managed to speak to Mr. Baldwin today, have you, Gloria?
No, why?
Well, I'm concerned about him.
Oh?
Well, Norman says he saw Mr. Baldwin getting into his car outside at tea time. He was hurt. His face was cut as if he'd been in an accident. Well, actually, Norman thought he'd been in a fight. But I can't think of any circumstances in which that can have happened, could you?
No, I can't.
Well, I've tried to phone him, but he's either not answering his phone or he's gone out.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you. She knows more than she's letting on.
Oh, do stop making a production of it, Mavis. He's probably just slipped on the stairs.
Cherchez la femme is what I say.
Thank you.
Good evening, Betty.
Good evening.
Has anybody ever told you that you look like a duchess?
What are you giving him, ginseng?
He's just very happy, Betty, like what I am. Allow me.
What? Oh, thank you.
Are these two drunk, Betty?
I'll tell you when you're 21.
Tiger.
So what do you think?
About what?
About my flower arrangements.
Oh, they've actually been arranged, have they? Yeah, it's not what you called me last night, is it, when I let you put your cold feet on me?
Yeah, because last night I happened to be
Yeah,
desperate.
I remember. Where'd you get them from, anyway, the flowers?
I got them from down the cemetery when a gravedigger wasn't looking.
Yeah, well, you're learning, kid, you're learning.
Yeah, well, I'm being taught by a master, aren't I? Oh, Kev, don't this make you feel dead married?
What? Having to watch every penny of me?
No, having a place of our own at last.
Yeah, well, I feel even more married when we can afford to carpet the rest of the place.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to, aren't you? You don't sound convinced.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm not convinced.
You're not?
No, I'm not, as it happens.
Look, so we got this house on a strict understanding that we didn't buy anything else till we could afford it, right?
Yeah, well, I know what we've said.
Well, then.
Oh, Kev, I just want it all finished, you know, all done and looking nice.
Yeah, well, it won't be long before it's all finished and looking nice.
Other couples manage to do it, don't they? I mean, they manage to move in and furnish everything. Look at Janet Barnes's house.
Yeah? Well, what was special about that, then?
Well, her and Norman, they've moved in, haven't they? They've had a new carpet fitted, they've had curtains, they've had
A new bathroom.
Yeah, look at him. He's gone back to live with his mum and she's moved in with someone else.
What's that got to do with Harry?
A lot if you think about it. Go on, just ask yourself, why do you think they split up?
Well, it's not because they had some new furniture, that's
No, it's because they got into debt, didn't they? Up to their armpits. Which meant he was worried about where the next hire purchase payment was coming from. Which meant he ended up arguing all the time.
Oh, I suppose we never argue, do we?
Oh, don't be clever. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Just wish you weren't so smug again.
I'll see you later, okay?
Right.
Well then. Well, if that's the best you can do, you can keep your cold feet to yourself in future.
All right, well, I'll remember that then. Tonight, perhaps.
Morning, Kurt. Oh, city manager.
Morning. Hi. Oh, Emily. Yeah, have you heard anything from Mike?
He did ring me, as a matter of fact, late last night.
Did he say what had happened?
No, we didn't go into that.
Curly said he looks as if he'd been in a fight.
All I know is that he was seen getting into his car with his face bleeding.
So you haven't actually seen him then?
No, and I won't be doing for some time. He's going to be,
What's the phrase he used? Out of circulation for a couple of weeks.
Really?
His story is that he has some urgent business to see to in London.
But is he all right?
I don't know, really. I mean, I did ask him, of course.
And?
He was what you might call non-committal on the subject.
see you later.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Lou. And if that grin of yours gets any wider, Ken Barlow, I reckon the top of your head's going to drop off.
Well, poor old Baldwin.
Oh, yes, I can see you're upset about it.
Oh, I am, I am. But, mind you, if it had to happen to somebody around here...
Listen, I reckon that underneath that well-pressed liberal exterior of yours, there's a right little savage lurking.
True of most of us, I think you'll find love given the right time and the right place. And, the right person, of course.
I can't believe it. Yeah, well, just for the record, neither could we at first look.
You can certainly say that again.
Oh, and you knew and you never said anything.
I'm sorry, love it. I was sworn to secrecy.
Yeah, well, we wanted to get used to the idea ourselves.
Oh, I bet you were dead thrilled, though, when you knew it was definite, like.
Stunned. I think it'd be a better word, Gloria.
Now, come on, Gilroy. Oh, no. You were as chuffed as I was once he got used to the idea of it.
Well, let's put it this way. What's done's done and can't be undone, can it?
And if this baby of ours has the good fortune to be born with my beauty and Alec's brains, what a baby that could turn out to be, eh?
Then again, as some folks say, what if it's to the road round?
Oh.
So when's the party, then?
No, there'll be no party.
In fact, not a word round here to anybody yet, either of you.
Oh, not even Jack?
Especially not Jack. That's all we need. Him and that mouth on wheels he calls a wife, blabbing it to the world.
But people are soon going to start noticing, you know, when Bet loses her hourglass figure.
Aye, well, when that happens, it'll be time enough to tell him then. Until that time, it's stum all round, right?
Yeah, well, you don't need to worry about me, Alec.
Of course we don't, Betty. Or put it another way, let's hope not.
Is he threatening me?
Definitely.
Hey, you! Just get your theory hands out of my bag, will you?
Paid for, are they, these?
What?
These?
Well, of course they are. What the hell do you take me for?
Oh, you really don't want me to answer that, do you, Amy? But for the record, how have you managed to pay for these when the tills aren't even on you?
Look, it wasn't from here I bought them, was it? Not that's any of your business. It was from the supermarket down the precinct. On my way in this morning.
All right. And why would you buy bottles of stout from there when you can buy them from here?
Because they're a damn sight cheaper down there, that's why.
Oh, come on, Amy. I might have straw coming out of my ears when I've not just come over on the boat. These are Newton and Play Me Ridley bottles.
That's right. Which you can buy for tuppence cheaper down the supermarket than you can in here. Which really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What sort of rotten profit the brewery are making. And like I said, just keep your mucky paws off my property from now on, all right?
Now what's up?
Oh, not as I know of.
And is it?
No, of course not.
Janet, have you got that list for me?
Oh, yes, I just finished it, Mr. Kavanagh.
Great stuff.
And which list would that be, then?
I've asked Janet to draw me up a list, a sort of a rough guide, you know, of all the advertisers who, for one reason or another, have cancelled in the last 6 months.
Oh, yes?
The idea being, give them a buzz, find out why.
Already done it at the time in every case.
Yeah, but what I've got in mind is offering them discounts, you know, get them back into the advertising habit, as it were.
Something else that was done at the time.
Yeah, I'm sure, but there's no harm, is there, in having another go?
Oh, no, of course not.
So, if you can make a start on this lot, Janet, after lunch?
You, Mr. Kavanagh?
Well, who else?
Well, only I won't be here, you see, not this afternoon.
Oh, I do realise that. So, I suppose what we're talking about, love, is a spot of overtime at the usual rates, of course.
Sorry, I couldn't possibly, Mr. Kavanagh. I've already made my arrangements, you see.
Well, could you not perhaps unmake them just this once?
Afraid not, no. Not at such short notice.
Oh, it's going to be nothing to stop you making a start first thing in the morning, is it, Janet?
No, of course not.
Right, well, in that case, I don't think anything's really spoiling, is it, Nick? Not for a half day or so.
Possibly not.
Well, while you're still with us, how about some coffee, Janet?
Oh, right.
It's her husband that's the problem.
A husband?
He's been bedridden for a couple of years now, so if Janet doesn't get home for lunch, afraid he doesn't get to eat.
I see. Well, it's a shame, because we could really use somebody full-time.
Well, right, yeah, and believe me, I put it to her more than once, but simply isn't on, I'm afraid. Well, not the way she's fixed at the moment, anyway.
I see.
Hello? It's only me.
Oh. Hiya. So are you then?
Nothing.
There obviously is.
It's just that you get sick, don't you?
What of?
Of folk pointing the finger, especially when it's your own.
Look, Mother, I've no idea what you're on about, love.
I'm on about him, that husband of yours. That's what I'm on about.
Oh, what's he been doing to you now, then?
Oh, no more than I should have expected, I suppose, after that Roberts business.
Oh, what's he got to do with that, then, off Roberts here?
Nothing. But you know what they say, give a dog a bad name.
Look, Mother, I've no idea what you're on about, love. I'm not a mind reader, you know. If you've aught to say about our Jack, well, spit it out.
It's not what I'm saying about him that's the trouble, is it? It's what he's been saying about me.
Oh, right.
So, you're all sorted out now, then?
Well, more or less, you know.
Yeah, it's still a bit there, mind you.
Yeah, and it's likely to stay that way till we can afford to do anything else.
It makes sense to wait a bit, though. I mean, rather than throwing your money away on cheap rubbish.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling.
Yeah, but if it were up to you, we'd be sat around on orange boxes for the next 10 years, as long as it didn't involve spending any money.
Oh, bit of a skinflint then, are you, Kev?
Yeah, well, put it this way. Someone round our house has got to be. Same again, is it?
Oh, Kevin, are you sure we can afford it?
Oh.
Yes.
Half a lager,
Yeah.
pint of lager. And,
Right, come on then, you. Tell us who did it.
What?
Give Mike Baldwin a good idea.
What makes you think I know?
Well, from what I've heard, you and him have been more than just good friends lately.
That's what you've heard, is it? Well, it looks like you've heard wrong then, doesn't it? Yes, Vera.
Tell our Jack I want a word.
Ah, that could be a bit difficult just now.
Why?
Well, he's nipped out. Now, if you're desperate, you could always try the betting shop.
I might have known her.
Can I take a message?
Well, let's put it this way, love. Not that you could print.
Quick word, Janet, before you go.
Yes, of course.
How would you like to be making double what you're getting now? Plus, say, another 10% on top.
Sorry, I'm not with you, Mr. Kavanagh. How could I possibly do that?
By coming in full-time from now on.
Oh, I see. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I couldn't possibly.
Because of the situation at home, you mean?
Well, yes. You see, one of the main attractions of the job was the fact that it was only half days.
Yes, I can see that, of course. I'm sure you can see that things are changing around here. The whole operation's about to expand quite considerably.
Oh, yes, I can see that.
Tell you what, why don't you go home and think about it?
Well, I will, but I really don't.
And I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, right. Bye.
Bye, Janet.
Bye, Janet. Everything all right?
What? Yeah, fine. Why not?
See you, Molly.
Right, my love, I'm off.
Bye, Betty. Have you seen Alec?
Well, last thing he was heading upstairs with a tape measure.
Tape measure.
That's what it looked like to me, yeah. See you tomorrow, Doc.
Bye, Betty.
Right, love.
Bet!
I'm here, love.
Bet. I've just been having a look at that spare room.
Oh, yeah, still there, is it?
Well, there are one or two bad damp spots.
And have been for years, love. In fact, rumour has it, one of them's been there that long, there's a preservation order out on it.
Look, it's not a joke. I mean, it won't do, will it?
Won't do through.
Well, for the baby, you can't go putting a new baby in a damp room, love.
I suppose you can't, no.
Well, no. Are you all right?
No, I'm not, Alec. All right, if you want to know.
Oh, what's the matter?
I've got pain.
Pain? Where?
Here.
How long have you had that?
Oh, about half an hour.
Well, why the hell didn't you say so?
Well, I thought it'd go away, but it hasn't, has it?
Right, come on.
Where are we going?
Well, to lie down for starters.
Hey, love, it's probably only wind.
Well, it might be that, but I mean, it could be. Right, come on. Now then, just hang on while I get sorted out. There you are now. Come on, let's have you on here. There you go. Is that better?
Yeah, thanks.
So, how is it now?
Still there.
Is it any worse?
If anything, I think it is, Alec.
Right.
Alec, don't go.
Dr. Lockwood, please. Well, of course it's urgent, love. I'd not be bothering her if it wasn't, would I?
You're home early, aren't you?
Got this stinking headache, didn't I?
On your own?
Why? Who did you expect I'd have with me, eh? Prince Philip?
No. What I mean was she with you? Mother McCree.
Why?
Because I want a quiet word with you about her, that's why.
Yeah, well, snap, Jack. If that's who I want to have a word with you about.
Oh, you've heard the latest then, have you?
Oh, aye. She told me. Yeah, I think that's what gave me the headache. You'll stop at note, you, will you, to get her the sack from that pub?
Vera, she's walking out with half the flaming stock.
Says you she is.
I found the bottles in a bag.
Yeah, bottles she got from the supermarket.
Oh, come on, you don't believe that, do you?
Well, of course I believe it. Look, Jack, I mean, this just happens to be my mother you're on about, you
Yeah,
know.
well, that's your problem, and it certainly isn't mine, but I definitely don't believe her.
Well, you won't, would you, eh? No, but you'd believe it if somebody said she were holding up stagecoaches down Oldham Road.
Ah, frightening all the flaming horses. Now, look, don't just take my word for it. Come on.
What?
Come on. All right. I'll show you. Right, come on. Come on.
All right.
Luke, Newton and Flaming Ridley.
Yes, that my mother bought from the supermarket, Jack.
Oh, aye. So where's the price?
For what price?
On the bottle. When you buy something from a supermarket, there's always a price tag on the bottle, right?
Well, I don't know. Happened it fell off.
Oh, come on, Fairy. You're grasping at flipping straws now.
Oh, is that what you think I'm doing, eh? Well, I'll tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not standing here having my mother undrawn and quartered on that flimsy evidence. Oh. Look, is all this really necessary? I don't think it's as bad now.
Simply a precaution, Mrs. Gilroy, that's all.
Doctor. That's right, isn't it? I mean, it is just a precaution.
Don't worry, Mr. Gilroy. Talk to me again when we've had a proper look at her. How is she?
Oh, I don't know. Look, do us a favour, Glo. Ring Betty Turpin, will you? Ask her if she can come in tonight.
Yeah.
Only I don't know how long I'm going to be up there.
Yeah. Oh, and Alec, it could still just be a false alarm, you know.
I'll see you later on.
Oh, come on, Vera. I can understand you sticking up for her. Of course I can. If it were a matter of her half-inching half a dozen drinks, I could say, well, what the hell, Alec can afford it. It isn't as simple as that, is it?
What do you mean it's not as simple as that?
But it's my flaming job on the line, isn't it?
Your job?
Yes. Look, I am in charge of all the stock down there, aren't I? So what happens when old Eagle Eye Alec finds out stuff's been going missing, which you can take my word for he will? Who's he going to blame, eh? I'm telling you, Jack Duckworth takes the can back for nobody, and certainly not for your mother. I wouldn't take a flaming watering can over the road to her if she were on flipping fire.
Well, tell us something we don't know then, eh, Jack? Do you know what? You've had a knife in her ever since you put a nose through that door, you have. It's all right for you, Wincy. You're not old or unwanted.
Wanted, unwanted, Vera. She's probably wanted by half the police forces in Great Britain.
Look, stop joking, will ya? It's not funny!
No, it isn't. It is anything but. So what are you going to do about it?
What do you mean?
Well, as you never tire of reminding me, she is your mother.
Well, what do you want me to do about it, eh?
Well, have a word with her or something to show her the error of her nasty little ways.
Oh, I just like that.
Let's put it this road, Vera. Better you than Alec Flaming Gilroy.
Any news yet, lovey?
Nothing.
Well, but perhaps I could try and ring the hospital.
Oh, I doubt if they'll tell us anything, Betty, not over the phone. Anyway, Alec will ring as soon as there's any news. Alec. No, I'm sorry, love. He's not here at the moment. Can I take a message?
Hello, love.
Well, how is she?
Well, that's what we're all waiting to hear, love. Do you want to share it?
Pains in the tummy, you said. Well, that could be anything, couldn't it? Appendicitis.
Yeah, well, we're not sure. You know, Sherry, maybe.
Oh, yes.
We don't know, do we? So, I mean, there's no point in guessing.
Oh, well, I suppose you're right. But then again, you see...
All right, maybe.
They can do funny things to folk and these unexpected twinges.
Oh, aye. And you're an expert all of a sudden, are you, Percy?
Well, you remember Vic Gillespie, better known as Dizzy to his friends, the landlord of the Duck and Ferret? Well, he wasn't a bad lad, but he'd never been one for putting his hand in his pocket, you know, until recently, that is, when he started getting these pains in his chest, so he convinced himself his days was numbered. So while he was waiting for the results of his medical test, you know, he was buying everybody drinks.
Hang on a minute, Percy. What happened to Mingy old Dizzy got to do with how poor old Bet's feeling?
Everything, because when he got the results of his tests, all it turned out to be was wind. So for months after, it became a pub to avoid the ferret.
But why?
Because he embarked on an active campaign to recoup all his losses by short measuring everybody. Took him about 3 weeks to get his money back.
Well, I'm sure that gives us a fascinating human insight into something, but I still don't see what it's got to do with Bet.
The point I'm getting at, if a man like him so easily be fooled into thinking his twinges are somewhat more than they were, what chance does a mere female like Mrs. Gilroy stand of keeping things in proportion?
Well, there's no answer to that.
Oh, there is, you know. In fact, there's several.
Alec? Alec, how is she?
She's all right.
Oh, Alec, I am sorry.
Me too, love.
Come on, come here.
What?
These are full bottles.
Look, I've got to go to work. I'm late now.
Look, hang on, Vera.
Oh,
hang
what?
on. No. These are full bottles, not empties.
Well, what are you doing?
I
Putting them in
didn't
the...
hide them. Your mother hid them. Now, what's she doing that for? Because there's no need to hide out, not if you come by it honestly.
Oh, look, I'm going to work.
Yes, and you will be the only flaming one of us in work in a bit. Your sticky-fingered, ale-swilling mother is going to get me the bullet the way things are shaping.
Oh, give over. It won't come to that.
Yes, it will. Because if Al gets missing, I carry the can. Alec Gilroy's only got to do a spot check, find a couple of crates missing, and wham! I'm up the road.
Couple of crates? Oh, give over. I mean, all right, she might have nicked a couple of bottles, yeah, but...
Now, look. Now, there's them empties we found, eh? There's these we know about. How many flaming more, eh? Come on, Vera. You have got to mark her card for her. I mean, she is your mother, you know.
I've got to go to work.
Yes, and you'll be keeping me when I get flipping sacked.
You two being round again? I could hear you shouting summit. Why you stand for it, I just don't know.
No, we haven't been rowing. You must know he's dead worried.
Him? Oh, that's been a day. He's like a pig, he is. As long as his belly's full, he's not bothered.
Look, stop calling him, will you?
Why, he calls me?
Yeah, well, I'm sick of the pair of you. I am. Look, Ma'am.
What?
Look, I'll see you this dinner, OK? I've got to get over at Road, or else I'll get fired, and we don't want anybody getting fired, do we? Only watch it, Rovers, eh? Look, it's a mugs game, playing silly beggars with Alec Gilroy. Morning.
Morning, Betty, love.
Would you like me to get you a bit of breakfast? I've got some bacon. I mean, it won't take me long.
No, thanks, love. I don't think I could face it. I don't suppose Bet's got much of an appetite today, either. Still, hospital food. She's not been missing anything, will she?
Look, have they said when she can come home, love?
Sometime today, I hope. I've got to ring up later this morning.
Alec, look, she's bound to feel pretty bad, you know.
Well, of course I know. How do you think I'm feeling?
Look, you're upset, I know. You're bound to be, love, but all I'm trying to say is it's worse for her. A lot worse.
I suppose so.
Look, she's going to need all the support you can give her, though.
She'll get it. And while I think of it, Bet's not going to want all of the sundry knowing she's lost this baby, so I'd appreciate you keeping it to yourself.
I shan't say a word, Alec.
I mean, there's only you and Gloria. You were the only ones who knew she were expecting, and you're the only ones who know she's lost it. I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah, of course, love.
Thanks, Betty.
Well, I shall need a copy here by tea time. Well, tomorrow morning then at the latest. That's the absolute deadline for this week's paper. Good, fine, okay. Bye. Right, coffee, I think, Janet. I mean, we might be working for whiz kids these days, but we're not going to do without our coffee breaks. And if Nick Kavanagh comes in through the door, he can join us in a cup.
He can't, I'm afraid. We've broken the visitors' cup. Down to our last two.
Then plunder the petty cash, Janet, and invest in a couple of new ones. Book it down to office equipment.
Well, Mr. Kavanagh was asking me how I felt about working full-time.
Oh, was he? Well, he shouldn't have done. You worked for me, not Nick Kavanagh.
I assumed you must have discussed it with him, that you knew all about it.
Well, as a matter of fact, we did, yes. I told him how you were fixed, so why should he bring it up with you? You know, the truth is, Janet, we do need somebody in the office round the clock. I mean, if I'm out in the afternoon and you're not here... What else was said exactly?
Oh, nothing really, just about me working full-time. I explained to him about John being disabled, and part-time was all I could cope with.
Well, like I say, I told him all that. You know, Janet, this office is going to be rather different from now on. There's going to be a lot more pressure, I'm afraid.
Oh, yes. I can see that. I knew that the minute I met Mr. Kavanagh.
Derek, no, I haven't heard from him. Spector's too busy to write to me.
Perhaps you ought to drop him a line.
casually mentioning your friend Harry. I mean, if Derek realises he's got a rival for your affections...
No, there's nothing like that with Harry. He's just an intellectual companion. And to be brutally frank, Emily, I've had quite enough romance to last me a lifetime, thank you very much. You can have too much of it, you know.
Hey, Bessie.
Hello, lovely.
Could I have one of your hot pots when you got a minute?
Of course you can.
Thank you. Hi, Gloria.
Hi, Gigi.
Have a lager, please, love.
Yes.
Oh, what's the word on Bet? Is she still in hospital?
Well, unless her come home, you know, Alex going in to fetch her.
Oh, well, it can't be too serious then.
No, not as far as we know.
Thank you.
On your own, are you? Where's Ken today?
He's just rung up to say he's going to grab a sandwich in the office. Honestly, it's all go for him these days. Tarlo.
It must be great having your own place. Just being able to do anything you want, you know, and get a bit of privacy.
Oh, that's true. I mean, some of the things Sally does, she'd get arrested if she did them in public.
Yo.
You still live with your mum and dad, don't you?
Yeah, my sister and my brothers. You know, there's always somebody around with somebody else in our house.
Half a presbyter, please. Do you know what day it is?
Ah, Wednesday. Good God, Percy, your memory's going now.
I know what day of the week it is, man. I also know it's a National No Smoking Day.
Oh, who says?
The powers that be, it's official.
Yeah, well, the powers that be never consulted me, so to hell with them.
You know what that cigarette is, don't you? It's the adult version of a baby's comforter.
Well, that's why I'm smoking it, Percy, because at the moment I need all the comfort I can get. All right.
Ma'am, it's only me.
Oh, hello.
Been having a beer?
Well, what if I have? Now, don't you start, Vera. I've had enough trouble this morning with your Jack.
Oh, aye, what trouble?
He follows me about that pub like a bad smell. Snooping, spying on me. He's never liked me working there.
Well, he's worried, isn't he? And you know why. I mean, when it comes to nicking bottles.
Oh, yes, your Jack would like you to believe that, wouldn't he? He'd like Alec Gilroy to think so as well. He's never liked me working there.
Oh, give over. Look, it's our Jack that's in lumber, you know, if Alec Gilroy finds any stock missing. And it's not daft our Jack, you know. He'd not make a muck heap on his own doorstep.
You're as bad as him, you are. Making out your own mother's been thieving.
Look, I'm trying to get you to stop it, that's all. And don't come the innocent. Oh, no, I had enough of that with Alf Roberts that time.
Well, I never thought I'd hear my own daughter calling me a thief.
Oh, don't come the waterworks.
You'll apologise, Vera. You'll apologise right now, or I'll not stay in this house another minute.
I'm not apologising. It's you that'll do the apologising.
It's him, this is, isn't it? He's turned you against me. Your own mother. Right. I know when I'm not wanted.
Ma'am, come on.
No, you've hurt me, Vera. Right, I'm going to pack me bags.
Right. One ham and tomato, and one salad, both in brown.
Thank you, Janet.
Hello, Mr. Kavanagh.
Ken, do you need me for the moment, or can I leave you to handle things?
I'll handle it.
Okay, see you later.
Well, I'll get home now, make John some lunch.
Hang on a minute, Janet. This is difficult. But like I said this morning, the pressure is on around here now, and, well, I need somebody in the office all day.
I'm sure there must be lots of people who'd be happy to work afternoons.
No, it's got to be full-time. Somebody knows exactly what's happening at every stage.
Oh, I see. Well, I could talk to John, I suppose, have a word with him, see if we could work something out.
But even if you could, Janet, do you feel that you could give the job what it needs in terms of energy and commitment?
Oh, I see.
There's no reflection on you, Janet. It's just the changing nature of the job.
I get the message, Ken. Been half expecting it, actually. Ever since Mr. Kavanagh came home.
I meant to ask you, did you have any dinner?
I don't want any dinner, it would choke me.
Where do you reckon you're off to any road?
Oh, don't crack on, you care what happens to me.
Well, of course I care.
Well, if you must know, I'm going to our Edie's.
Aunt Edie's? Well, you always reckoned you could never stand her.
I can get on with anybody, me, given half a chance. No, our Edie might be the black sheep of the family. Well, she is, there's no two ways about it. But at least her heart's in the right place, which is more than can be said for you, our Vera. She wouldn't chuck me out of the house.
Look, I'm not chucking you out. Sure that said you didn't want to stop. I mean, look, you can see how I'm fixed, don't you? I mean, he is my husband, you know.
Aye, and he's a rotten one.
Well, happen he is, but he's the only one I've got.
It's all his fault, is it? It's him you should be chucking out. We don't need him.
Look, he just wants to keep his job, that's all. And look, if you just pack it in...
Pack what in?
You know, souvenir hunting.
That's it. I'm off.
Oh, well, go on, then. Go on, go.
But I think I've just missed a bus.
Oh, well, don't worry about that. I'll take you there. Yes. Oh, well, yeah, the car's outside.
You should be at work in 2 minutes.
Well, blow it. Let him dock me pay. Yeah, let him fire me. I'm taking you, and then I know that you're there, safe. Well, come on, give us the case. Open the door.
Oh, come on, then. It's him making you do this, isn't it? Has he been thumping you?
Do what? That'll be the day.
I've done my best to be nice to him. For your sake.
Yes, I know, Mother.
It's not too late, you know.
For what?
To say you're sorry.
Look, get the seatbelt on. Hurry up. Our Jack will never forgive me if what happens to you. Ah.
You'll be glad to be home. How much, man?
Yes, I got that. Yeah, I got that. Fine. Okay. Right, bye.
Here are the layouts for the rest of the group. Have a look sometime. Any trouble?
Don't let him in. Leaving on Friday.
Had to happen, you know.
Yes, I suppose so.
I mean, here you are running the shop, answering the phone. You should be out and about, drumming up advertising, chasing after those tasty local stories you keep telling me are so vital.
Yes, but I can't exactly say I enjoyed telling him.
No, not always fun being the boss. Still, look on the good side. You're going to have somebody here who's going to take a lot of the load and set you free to really get things moving.
And the sooner the better. I'm going to run an ad in this week's paper. I've just been drafting it.
Mm-hmm. It's a good idea. That might not be necessary, though. I've just had a brainwave. I might have just the assistant that you need.
Oh? Is that... Oh. Hello, Weatherfield Recorder.
Leave it with me, Ken. You've got to have the best.
Yes, yes, you certainly can advertise a missing budgie. A reward? Well, that's even better.
Are you asleep?
No.
Bed. You should be in bed, you know.
I've told you. I don't want to go to bed.
Yes, but you should be resting. I mean, you've got to go careful.
And it's too late for going careful.
You know, I didn't realize. I didn't think it had hit me as hard as it has. I mean, when you said you were expecting, well, I can't pretend I was overjoyed.
No.
Well, not at first. But it grew on me.
I know.
And now? matter to me, love. As long as you're all right. That's what really matters.
Oh, I'm right enough, love.
Well, then.
Anyway, you'd have looked a right herb at pushing a pram.
Aye, you're right, I suppose, now you mention it.
But they spoiled it rotten, you know. They always do, old parents.
Hey, not so much of your old.
Well, we're all for bringing kids up. Anyway, what sort of life would it have had round here? Growing up in a backstreet pub. I wanted it, you know. I wanted it. Right from the first minute I knew I'd caught. Still, you don't always get what you want, do you? So that's that.
Oh, I got what I wanted when I got you. And shall I tell you something else? I wouldn't swap places with any man in England. Not for a gold club.
You are a little love. Right then.
Right. Ah, careful. Come. There you go. Now then, I'll tell you what. I'll bring you a hot drink up when you get in bed.
I'm not going to bed.
Eh?
We've got a pub to open in 5 minutes. That's what we do, me and you, kid. We run a pub. Let's get on with it, eh?
Where have you been this afternoon? And before you start, don't say work because Ivy's been looking for you.
All right, let me get in the house.
Your mother's disappeared. Well, I'm not too bothered about that. In fact, I'm quite looking forward to ringing you round the hospital, police
Well, she's
station.
gone to Auntie Edie's. That's where I've been. I run her there in car. Well, I didn't see any point in rushing back to work.
Auntie Edie's, how long for?
Well, till Auntie Edie gets sick of her, I suppose.
Do you mean, she's stopping there? Not coming back?
No.
Oh, V. Oh. Hey, you're not kidding me, are you? You're not pulling my pyjama string, are you? Because if you're kidding me and it's a joke, you're going to find me in the cup with a brick in every pocket.
Look, she's not coming back here.
Oh, V, you're a little belter. I'll go and put the kettle on.
She said, will you get a wage from Alec Gilroy and we'll send it on to her.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. Do you know, V, I can't even tell you. It's like having a big weight took off your foot, or even somewhere more sensitive. It's
All right. Don't go on about it. You've got what you wanted, now leave it.
Hey, now let's get this straight. Your mother leaving has got nothing to do with me. All right, I was never keen on having her here, but I never went on about it, right?
Oh, give up. You never stopped moaning from the minute she walked in the door.
Now, I might have dropped the occasional hint, but my conscience is clear. I'd have got the push, you know, before long, V.
I know, I told her that. With a right row, you know. But she's my mother, Jack. I mean, whatever she does, she's my mum.
I know. And if you want to go round there and see her, you feel free, you go round. There's no need to ask my permission, love.
It's nice to have a house to ourselves again, isn't it?
Certainly is, isn't it? What's the tea?
We can do what we like now, can't we? You feel like a rest?
How do you mean?
Ted, will you get that?
Yeah, okay.
Evening. Is your good lady at home?
She is, yeah, but she's just...
Evening, Mrs. Webster.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I see you're going to have your tea. Well, I'll not be stopping. It's just a neighbourly call. I was thinking to myself the other day, you know, nice young couple like the Websters in their first home. It'll take them all their time to furnish the bare necessities of life. They won't have any money left for the finer things of life.
Oh, well...
No, money doesn't go far these days, and that's why I'm here. I brought you a little present. It's a picture.
Oh.
It's a genuine article. I hope you get as much mental and artistic refreshment out of that as I've done over the years. Go on, open it.
Oh, I couldn't take your lovely picture of you,
Open
Mr.
it.
Sugden.
I brought that out of Egypt in 1943, and it took a bit of doing, I can tell you. Yes, I carried that picture under my shirt right across North Africa. Man, it wasn't framed then. No, it wasn't framed then. Through shot and shell, it's one there aren't bullet holes in it.
Oh, I can tell it means a lot to you, Mr. Sugden. Oh, we couldn't take your lovely picture off you, could we, Kevin? Kevin.
Hey?
We couldn't take Mr. Sugden's picture off him.
You see, the way I look at it, somebody else has got to have it one day. I mean, I won't be here forever.
Oh, well, perhaps we could have it then.
No, love, I'll be very happy knowing you two are having the pleasure of it.
Oh, it's very kind of you, Mr. Sugden.
So I hope you won't mind if now and again I pop over to have a look at it, you know, just to refresh the memory. There'd look nice. Yeah. Or how about that then, up there? Still, it's none of my business where you put it. It isn't. There we are. Yes. Yeah, well, I'll let you get your tea. Ta-ra.
Oh, it's awful.
Well, you should have told him you didn't want it.
Oh, I didn't like to hurt his feelings. Oh, God, I hate it. It's worse than Mrs. Ogden's ducks.
Mr. Barlow.
That's right.
I'm glad I called you. I rushed over to Neptune House.
Neptune House? Oh, yeah, Nick Kavanagh's HQ. You work for him, do you?
That's right. He said the sooner I came over and introduced myself, the better. I'm Fiona.
Oh, well, pleased to meet you, Fiona.
Will this be my desk?
Just a second. Could we start again from the beginning?
I'm sorry, I assumed Dad must have said.
Dad?
I'm Fiona Kavanagh. Dad said to get over here and be Girl Friday to your Captain Crusoe.
Nick Kavanagh is your dad?
Don't tell me he doesn't look old enough. Well, you can tell me. Don't tell him, he's vain enough already. I'm really looking forward to working here. Dad says you're going to make the Recorder the best paper he's got. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi, and I'm looking forward to it. So, I'll be here Monday morning, bright and early. Bye for now. Hi, Freddie.
Hello.
Who was that girl?
That is my new assistant, my replacement for Janet.
Oh, where did you find her?
I didn't. She was foisted onto me. That is going to be Nick Kavanagh's eyes and ears in here. I've been lumbered with the boss's daughter.
Is Emily in? Ah, Mr. Baldwin, come in. Hey, are you all right now? What are you talking about? Well, last time I saw you were staggering towards your car. You weren't all right then. You looked like you'd done 2 rounds with Mike Tyson.
Norman, what?
Mrs. Bishop.
Go and put a comb through that bird's nest at once. Nice to see you back, Mr. Baldwin. What can I do for you?
Just want a progress report before I show my face across the road. Find out what the girls have been up to, what they've been gossiping about.
Oh, they know you've been in London.
That is not what I'm talking about, Emily, and you know it.
They also know you were involved in a slight accident.
Thanks, Emily.
Look, I know it's none of my business, but with losing the Farrell order so suddenly and what Norman was saying, I couldn't help wondering if there was a connection.
You're right, Emily. It is none of your business. Thanks all the same. Right, I'm off. I'll see you, Mr. Baldwin.
Right. Oh, Norman!
Oh, morning, Curly. Hiya. What's new, then? New? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Norman!
What?
You've forgotten your scarf.
Have I? Oh, really? Silly me.
Now, don't be like that about it. You know what a baby you are when you get a cold.
See you later, Emily.
Oh, yes, bye, Mr. Baldwin. And get a move on. You're going to miss that lecture.
Ta-ra, then.
Bye.
You're a bit henpecked, aren't you, girlie? I'm flipping sick of it. She'll be coming in the bathroom next, putting talc between me toes.
What does you reckon to all this, then?
You can't take a girl in there. It's like taking a ghetto blaster into church.
Well, where do you get up to all your jokes in, then, you know? Bus shelter or something.
We don't, and that's the miserable truth of it.
Oh, you've got a dog's life, haven't you, Curly?
Yeah. Mind you, I'm not on the dole.
Yeah, I know. Gotta go and sign on now, and then I'll probably pull myself a little youth opportunity and drag her back to my bachelor pad.
Will you? Will you really?
Oh, yeah, gotta get there.
What happens?
Well, you know, just make it.
We'd do better in a dodger.
Right, give it another try.
No, it's no good, love. I'll have to get the bus.
Look, love, I know you're late. We're both late.
I wouldn't mind, but it's a really important meeting.
Yeah, well, that's nothing. It's my first day with Kavanagh's daughter on board.
Oh, new office girl starting. Well, of course, that's much more important.
Yeah, well, it does when you've been manipulated into having it. Right, must be the battery. Come on. You have to get out and give me a push.
Well, me? What's the idea? You're creating copy. Counsellor pushes husband to work.
Yeah, well, that's better than counsellor done for driving without a licence. Come on.
Leave the shop, Ken.
Oh, thanks, if you're up to it, yeah.
Full of the joys of spring, me.
Oh, I'm glad somebody is.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Right. Go!
I thought you got your beans delivered. Yeah, this after, yeah. But we ran out of peas yesterday, which put a strain on the beans, so... No, don't add it up. Alf said I can borrow one. Oh, right. Oh, girl, you're not going to carry that lot, are you? No, danger, no. Alan had to nip home for something, so he gave me a lift. Save your Lord and Master a trip. So, that's for me, Collie. Right.
Morning, Sally. And what a lovely morning it is too, eh?
What's up with him?
Well, spring is here. Oh, look at that collie, eh? Marvellous. You know, I envy people with gardens, especially this time of the year. If I had one, I'd be out there in my wellies, digging away, communing with nature, instead of standing in a shop ironing out stupid videos.
Well, it'd save a bother too, wouldn't it, growing your own?
Very therapeutic and all, you know. I mean, where would we be, Alf, without fresh vegetables, eh?
We'd have to rely on summer pods, wouldn't we?
Trust him to wing it back to his digestive system. Hey, mind you, I could never be a vegetarian. Me.
Oh, I'd sooner hang myself.
Oh, I could have forgot my Saturday night steak and chips.
Or a nice black pudding with plenty of fat in it.
Hi.
Morning. Sorry I'm late.
Don't fret. I was late myself. Chain came off my bike.
You cycled here? Dressed like that?
Dressed like what? What happened to you?
Oh, just a bit of car trouble. Right, now.
You're all right. You seem a bit edgy.
No, I'm fine, I'm fine.
And they all falling dandies last night. My dad's always ratty when he's been dozing.
No, I haven't been drinking.
If you take away the music.
Look, there's nothing wrong with me, Fiona, thank you. Now, sit down and let's make a start. Now then, Mondays, I tend to compile a list of all the continuing ads for next week.
Hang on a sec, Ken.
Hang on a sec.
Yeah. I did have a couple of things I wanted to say before we start. First, I'm thrilled about having this job, right?
Well, oh, good.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're probably thinking Nick kind of slotted me into it because I'm his daughter. Thinking it's some kind of conspiracy. Kavanagh's muscling in. Well, forget it. The fact is, I've been working on him for ages to give me a chance to prove myself. So it's a result of a lot of effort on my part. Now I'm in here, I want to learn and do well because of who I am. I'm a father. Okay?
Okay.
So let's work.
Cauliflower cheese.
Kevin, it's a good square meal, so give up so can.
How can it be a good square meal with no meat in it?
Cheese is just as nourishing as meat is.
Yeah, cheese is for buses and cream crackers.
Look, we're economising, aren't we? This is nutritious and it's a quarter at price of Gilroy's pie and peas.
Yeah, so I've got to go back and graft on this, have I? Pen pushes grub. It'll be salads next.
Oh, who the heck can that be? We've just sat down.
A load of hungry mice, hopefully. Oh, all right, Phil. You want some cauliflower cheese?
I know, Tam. Just on my way to the chippy for a pudding.
Oh, look at you.
Shut up, eat up and be grateful, Kevin. It's going down your shirt. What can we do you for, Shirley?
Oh, it's daft, really, but I was just wondering what sort of a mood Alf's in today.
Well, it changes like the weather, really, especially with Audrey being away.
I'm thinking of applying for the flat over the shop, you see.
Yeah, what a good idea. It's a shame to see it going spare.
Well, that's what I thought now you're in here. I'm going crackers at home. And it'd be dead handy for Baldwin.
They've not even advertised it, has they? I mean, he only let us have it because Sally worked for him.
That's it, you see. It might not have occurred to him. So I just thought I'd get a readout on his state of mind.
Yeah, well, he's quite perky today for Alf.
Right then, there's nothing standing in my way in there, is there, except nerves?
Oh.
Do you reckon I'm in with a chance?
Oh, Shirley, of course you are. Go and get him asked. Good luck to you.
Right, I will. After me chips and a shot of courage. I'll see you.
See you later. Bye.
You know what this lacks, though?
What?
Gravy.
Gloria, a word if I may.
Oh, make it quickie then, eh?
I may be hallucinating, but do I spy 2 pieces of crust on that plate?
You do, yeah.
Well, don't you think you ought to put one back?
Oh, Alec, you've got to be joking.
Joking? It's commercial enterprise we're running here, not a flaming soup kitchen. You start giving out 2 bits of crust, they'll all want 2.
Alex, that plate's got 2 bits because they're extremely small bits, and I used the crust to cover up that pitiful blob of stodge you're charging folk a quid for.
Are you being a miserable old meanie again, Gilroy?
Yes, he is.
Go and do some serving and stop intimidating the staff.
Give us a pie there, mate, will you?
2 potato pies.
So you've not sacked her then?
No, she seems like a nice kid. And I've got to admit, the sight more efficient than Janet, bless her.
Cavanagh been poking his nose in?
No.
Well, there you are, a whole weekend wasted fretting for nothing.
I wasn't fretting, I was just working out a plan to campaign.
You could have fooled me.
Anyway, how's the meeting?
Same old story. Council having to sell housing to create revenue to spend on the homeless. Miserable, isn't it, with Baldwin back? Do you know you think it'd cheer him up, won't you, all these mystery shows that keep going on?
I'll see you back there then. Bye.
Right, love. Hey, what's up with Shirley? She's on the right down now. And here's me thinking how bouncy she's been since we've gone out with Curly. Don't know either. I'd rather walk round market with her wrapped down my tights.
Well, it's the situation at home, isn't it? I mean, she feels at her age she should have a place of her own. And unfortunately, that feeling's increasingly shared by the rest of her family.
She's never said aught to me about it.
Well, it is a sensitive matter, isn't it?
What's told you? A complete flipping stranger? Huh?
Hello.
Oh, morning.
I was wondering if you'd made any plans regarding the flat upstairs.
Hey?
The thing is, I'm looking for somewhere pretty urgent.
Oh, you are you?
I just have to move out of our house. It's dead oppressive. Oh, it has been for ages. So I'd like to be considered.
I see. Well, I don't know if I want to let the flat again, as a matter of fact, to be honest.
Well, am I not on then?
Well, it depends, doesn't it?
How do you mean that?
Well, it depends if we're going to let it or not.
Well, if you do, I'm in with a shout, right?
Well, I need a reference, like.
Reference?
Yeah, from somebody responsible, you know, to say they've known you a good few years and you're a reliable tenant.
Oh, I see.
Normal practice, love, for somebody I don't know. Well, I mean, somebody I don't know very well, like. I'll tell you what, you get your reference, then Appen will talk about it again, OK?
Right.
Yeah.
Ta.
All right, love. Ta-ra. Thanks for the inquiry. How do you go with cauliflower au gratin?
Oh. Well, he finally got it down him. Then he started complaining he was bloated. Then he started drinking liver salts and he was burping. He's gone off to work now, saying he's still hungry. I am not bothering with him tonight, Mr. Roberts. He's having fish and chips. He's not worth the effort. Oh, did Shirley come and see you?
Yeah, why?
Oh, I just wondered that were all.
Hey, you haven't been encouraging, have you?
Me, no way, it's all off her own bat.
Because I'm not sure I want to let that flat again, you know.
Yeah, that's up to you, Mr. Roberts. I just wondered if she'd been in.
Yes, she has. And I've asked her for a reference, and that's as far as it's gone.
A reference? You never asked us for a reference.
Well, you were working here, weren't you? I knew you.
Yeah, but you know, Shirley, she's been working across there now for ages. She'd be ideal, Mr. Roberts. She's got a regular job, she's quiet, single, independent. All she wants to do is just get away from her family, that's all.
You talking about me?
Look, I'll talk to you after lunch.
You having a party, Jenny, or what?
No, I'm just swatting for my exams.
Oh, chocolate gives you energy, does it? I doubt it, but what other form of enjoyment is there when you sat at a table all day long?
Here, you're going raving mad, aren't you?
I can have a couple of pints at lunchtime if I want to.
Of course he can. So can I if he's buying.
Well, I've only got a bit of reading to do, and I can do that tonight. You know, I'm as free as a bird, me.
Oh, nobody's free, lad. I mean, you might think you're free because you're youngish, but I mean, in all honesty, what potential have you got, eh? I mean, look at him. No qualifications, no job, no money.
Hey, don't knock me, mate. I've had a morning like it which you could neither organise nor manage.
Not the youth opportunity.
You got it in one curly, eh? But you're definitely right about him, you know. Yeah. No way, is it?
I'm still buying your beer.
No, he's training himself up for a world that doesn't want him.
Yeah.
He'll be yet another working-class intellectual on the scrappy.
I can see that.
Either that, or he'll be thrown to the delinquents in an inner-city school.
Not to mention his awful home atmosphere, eh?
Oh.
You know, we can't even take Shirl back there.
Sure.
His girl.
Oh, well, if you will live with a dowdy old Puritan like Emily Bishop, that's your problem. No, I'm talking in more general terms. I mean, either you do something positive, or you've finally got to admit to yourself what kind of a washout you are as a bloke.
You're right, Mr. Gilroy.
No, I am. So what are you going to do? Now.
Oh, we will, definitely. You just watch me.
Oh, but we are, aren't we?
Oh, we are. We're standing back in amazement as he explodes into action.
When?
Do it today.
You avoiding me? Yeah. Would you like me to find another dive to drink in?
I don't care what you do. As long as you accept our entanglement's over and done with, and I'm glad.
Well, I don't want to accept that. But if you say so. Anyway, thanks for keeping your mouth shut.
What about?
About me getting done over by Fowl, you did know, I take it.
I suspected it. I knew he was after you.
You knew?
Linda told me earlier in the day. I tried to warn you.
Well, perhaps you didn't try hard enough.
Perhaps.
Oh, thanks. And I thought you cared about me.
Cared about you? After the mess you got me into. I used to care about you, Mike. I can't deny that. But that's history now, and you've only got yourself to blame. And if you think I'm a bitch, well, that's your privilege, isn't it? But I'll tell you something for nothing. I'll bet I'm not the first. I'll bet a lot of decent women become bitches around a bloke like you.
OK, Bernard, will do.
Yeah, well, a half page is less than twice the price of a quarter, you know.
Extended spring sale, yeah?
Okay, so
just
you'll
give me
stick
the
to the
dates,
quarter
I'll be
then.
ready.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye. Lick penny.
Hi, gang.
Bye.
Executive decision time. Cast your expert peepers over that, would you?
Nice, OK.
What is it? Looks like Donald Duck blown a bugle.
It's the new logo.
What?
Yeah. Clarion News, you see. Bugle. Newspaper under its wing. This art teacher I'm seeing drew it up for me. What do you think, Fee?
It's rank.
It's a chain of newspapers, not a comic.
Most popular papers owe a lot to the comic. You don't like it, then?
Come on, Dad. You're not serious.
Ganging up, eh? Forming a tight little partnership.
We do a lot better with that. You wasting our time with stuff like that. The field recorder.
As it's turned out, I think it is going to be workable, our partnership.
Workable, not combustible.
Workable, though it could quite easily have been a disaster. As for the way you did it, I think that was contemptible. I just think you ought to know that.
Now, fair enough. But it is the name of the game.
What is?
Progress.
Progress?
Right. And it's in the name of progress that I'm moving you out of here and into the 20th century.
Not with you.
You're moving into Neptune House with the rest of the Clarion Group.
Neptune House?
Yeah. In a couple of months, we'll be really going places. You've got a great future, Ken. Having said that, I'll take my controversial dog and go.
Yeah, sure.
Ciao.
Oh, Alec, you do carry on. And you're so aggressive all over a bit of pie crust.
No, it's not the pie crust, it's the principle, isn't it?
Yeah, the principle of if the customers don't get it, there's more left over for me to guzzle when they've gone.
Now, I admit I'm partial to a bit of pastry, but small portions is my prerogative. I believe in the old theatre maxim, leave 'em wanting more. It's tactical.
Are you two at it again?
And then look at the way you went on at poor old Curly. I thought his eyes were going to pop out of his head.
Isn't it time you were off, Glo?
Yeah, well, it's a good job they didn't. He'd have had them in tomorrow's output.
You all right?
Yeah.
It could have been awful, you know, Alec. I
couple of codgers like us, trying to run this place and a scracking baby in back.
What do you mean? In the back? I was going to get one of them sling affairs and wear it on my back. Feed it a slug of scotch and some scratchings every time it cracked. No, seriously. I know I wasn't keen on the idea to begin with, but I suddenly thought, great. I felt proud, you know. Started to imagine how it would be like.
Oh, and me, love. Choosing a name. First step. Making sun pies. First day at school.
Hey, come on. You're supposed to be the strong one.
We're both strong, aren't we, Alec?
Well, yeah.
And it could have spoiled things in a way.
I don't think so.
Well, it could. But it hasn't. In fact, I think, if anything, it's brought us closer together.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So however hard it is, however much it hurts, we've got to try and forget the pain and just get on with it.
You and me.
Oh, aye. You and me, kid.
That was flipping brilliant, that.
It's a bit greasy, though.
That's what was brilliant about it. It was a kiss.
You predicted that.
Yep.
Go on, man.
What?
It's your turn to go to the door.
Oh, are you sure about that?
Go on, you lazy beggar.
Lazy woman. Hey, Sal. It's your kid. It's your Gina.
So much for our quiet night in, then.
Hiya. Oh, don't sound so pleased to see me, you.
I'm not. Last time I saw you, you dropped rice pudding all over the floor.
Well, you could pretend. I've come to you in desperation.
Why, what's up?
Well, am I sitting down or aren't I?
Go on.
Oh, great. Here, here's a swiggy of loopy juice, brother-in-law.
Make yourself at home, why don't you?
30p for a tin of beans? You thinking of taking Audrey to Torremolinos this summer?
Don't you start.
Well, 25 at the supermarket.
They may sell cheaper, but they've ruined everything, haven't they? Neighbourhoods, communities, a whole way of life. You should pay 30p and be very grateful you've still got a corner shop to pay it in. If anybody should know that, you should.
It's nice to know I can still get you going, Al.
Go on, get out of it. Right, Kelly, what can I get you that won't cost threepence less in a supermarket?
Fun.
Oh, never mind. What can I do you for?
Well, look, if you've got something on your mind, I can call back
Well,
later.
I haven't, so if you've got something to say...
Well, it's about the flat.
Flipping heck. Are they advertising on local radio or something?
How do you mean?
Well, you're the second one that's been in about it today.
Oh, well, that's that then.
What is?
Well, if someone else is after it...
Well, I haven't said I've fixed out, have I?
Do you mean I'm still in with a chance?
Look, I'll let you know in a couple of days. Have you told Mrs. Bishop?
No, not yet. I'm going to tell her tonight, so if you do see her...
I'll get the picture.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Roberts, and may the best man win. See you later.
You know, you don't need your born you are, Sal.
So what's been going on? I mean, are you really desperate, or did you just come round to raid our larder?
It's me pig of a dad, isn't it? He's still celebrating Christmas.
Yeah, well, one, isn't he?
He's gone well over the top this time, though, kicking us all about and that. And as you know, I'm the only one who'll stand up to him. Me and Billy, that is.
Billy?
Me boyfriend. His laugh a minute is Billy.
So what's up this time?
Oh, Sal, I can't go back. Not after what happened last night. Not after what I called me dad at tea time.
So, what exactly are you after?
A bed for the night. That is if you can bear to have someone from the lower classes in your posh little house. And you sure up our Sal. Kevin's the head of the house. It's his decision.
Well, she's your sister.
Yeah, so I've noticed.
Can't exactly show the door, can we? And it is only for one night.
That's right.
It had better be, Gina.
You're very quiet tonight, Norman.
Pardon?
You're not still in a huff with me over this morning, are you?
A huff? Me? No, it's just that you've been so quiet. I didn't think we were on speaking terms. I mean, you've hardly said 2 words since you came in. I just thought you were busy.
I thought you were. What are you reading?
Oh, this. It's just a college book. The Age of Affluence, 1951 to 1964.
Is it good?
Well, it's very deep. Well, it's a bit unfathomable, really. I think I've been reading it upside down. Still, if I'm disturbing you.
Oh, of course not, if you wanted to chat.
Well, actually, there is something I wanted to talk to you about.
All right, go ahead. This can wait. It's only a reference.
Oh, for who?
Whom?
Who?
Shirley.
Shirley? What for?
To recommend her to Alf.
To Alf?
Yes, as a tenant, she's hoping to rent his flat.
She's what? She's hoping to rent off? Flay me, Nick.
Have I said something wrong?
No. I'm going to my room.
Well, I thought it was something you wanted to talk to me about.
It's not important.
Have you anything for the washer, Norman? Wakey, Norman. I was asking if you'd anything for the washer.
Sorry, no, I haven't.
I don't seem to have seen any socks recently.
Well, you don't have to change them as often in winter, do you?
Yes, Norman, you do.
Well, I haven't got time to change them now.
Tomorrow, without fail, or you're on a charge. You really are hopeless, aren't you? Oh, and I nearly forgot. Can you drop Shirley's reference in at the corner shop? I mean, the sooner Alf gets it, the better.
Well, I'm going down the street.
Well, go up it, and then come down if you must. I mean, Shirley desperately wants that flat. And I'm pretty sure that Alf will let her have it when he sees the reference I've given her. It's quite a little masterpiece, though I do say it myself.
Hiya. Oh, hiya, love. Do you know I'm giving this up, I am. This is the last packet, definitely.
Yeah, Vera, if I had £1 for every time I've heard you say that, I'd be looking for me holiday home in the Bahamas.
Yeah, well, it's our Jack's fault. If he pack it in, I would.
Yeah, well, you know what he says, don't you?
What?
If you pack it in, he would. So in other words, you're killing one another.
But he does it on purpose. I only do it accidentally.
Ta-ra.
You know, I don't know where they get the brass from to go on smoking like chimneys. I really don't. I mean, some people's idea of priorities, beyond me, they always have been.
Curly asked me to give you that.
Curly?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I'm going to move that pot to a higher level shelf.
Yeah, I would.
And if we don't sell it, we're going to have to drink it ourselves.
Oh, it looks like we might have to.
Mrs. Phillips, good morning. My name's Fiona Kavanagh. I'm an advertising executive with the Weatherfield Recorder. What it was, I passed your confectionery shop this morning and I noticed it was under new management. That's you, is it, Mrs. Phillips? Congratulations. Well, I was wondering if you'd thought of advertising with us, you know, letting the town know you're in business. It's absolutely the best way to do it. You sure? Well, all I can say, Mrs. Phillips, and I shouldn't really be telling you this, there's a possibility of another confectioner's opening near you. We get to hear about these things on a newspaper. Yes, you think about it by all means. I'll give you another ring tomorrow. I wouldn't leave it too long. Bye, Mrs. Phillips. Morning.
Morning.
You well?
Moderately, yes, are you?
I'm fine, as always.
Fiona?
Hmm?
Mrs. Phillips?
What about her?
Bit naughty, that, isn't it? I mean, not really a shop opening nearby, is there?
There might be.
Not the way the Recorder does business, Fiona. I mean, not only did you lie to the woman, you probably frightened her to death telling her she got competition.
I hadn't thought of that.
Now, I don't mind you being keen. In fact, I expect it. But not too keen, eh?
I didn't know you could be too keen. I'm sure Daddy wouldn't agree you could be.
Maybe, but I'm your leader here.
Is this all right?
What?
I'm ringing an advertiser pretending to be an interested customer after reading their advert in the Recorder. Daddy does it all the time.
Oh, does he?
Hmm.
Well, it's harmless, I suppose.
Absolutely.
But hardly ethical.
Thorntons? Hello, I saw your advert in the local paper in the Weatherfield Recorder. I was very interested in the fridge freezers you have on special offer. You haven't sold them all, have you? I hope you haven't. I know how many people read the Recorder. They've probably gone like hotcakes. If you could find out for me, please. Thank you very much.
It doesn't look like Curly's coming in then, does it?
Don't does it, eh?
Madam's indecision. We're talking in assembly. I've got to get back to work. There'll be no point in me getting that flat if I lose my job. Pretty confident I'll get it, you know. Mrs. Bishop says she's given me a brilliant reference.
Has she?
I just wish Mr. Roberts would be quick and make his mind up. Can't wait to move in. I'll see you.
All right, sit down.
Where's Alec this morning? A business appointment, so he says. Actually, he'll be swanning round town centre pubs, cutting a dash in his new prairie hat.
Should be here helping you.
Well, to be fair, he's done his share of cleaning up this morning. Glow, you should have seen him. Pinny and rubber gloves. A couple of rollers, he'd have been a dead ringer for Hilda.
How are you feeling?
I'll survive, kid. Got to, haven't you? Thank you, young sir. Can I interest either of you in a plate of Moorish hot pot, colourfully garnished with red cabbage?
Nope. Nope.
Don't beat about the bush, lads. Give it me straight.
Thought it was a bit close, was it?
Don't know how you missed me. Couldn't have been more than a coat of paint between us, I tell you. I knew a young bloke too, 20 at the most.
I don't know about you, Mike, but I'm getting really worried about all these young lads dashing about the streets in fast cars. You know, every time I look in a mirror nowadays, it seems there's one just behind me waiting to overtake, and usually on a blind corner and all.
Yep, absolutely right. And I'll tell you something else. He'll kill someone soon. I bet on that.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
And I'll tell you another. Cheers.
Oh, cheers, girls.
So, what's new?
Oh, well, I went for the job this morning at Space Plastics, but this guy beat me to it.
Oh, hard luck. I got an A+ in my economics essay this morning.
Oh, good. Listen, Shirley's just been in.
Oh?
Yeah. She waited for you.
Did she?
She reckons she's going to get that flat, you know.
Well, I hope she does.
Hey, I thought you were dead keen on it. I mean, you've been going on about it enough. I can't wait till I get that flat, Martin. I mean, it won't just be a love nest. It'll be more like a temple to Aphrodite, whoever it is.
Goddess of love. Anyway, there'll be other flats.
None you can afford, mate.
Look, just shut up about it now, will you?
Okay, okay.
Oh, and another thing.
What?
Keep it to yourself that I was ever in for that flat because it could cause problems.
What flat?
Good.
Still, eh? Your very own flat, Curly. I mean, you know, it'd be a great turn-up. for all the
Look,
birds.
I said shut up about it, and I meant it.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Hello, Emily.
Aye. That's 360, please, look.
How are you coping anyway? On your own?
Well, I've looked after myself before, you know.
Hello. I'm only asking.
Mind you, if you're looking after yourself, it's better if you're a grocer.
I suppose it is, yeah. Well, if there's anything you want, or anything you want doing, I've only got to ask.
Oh, right, so I'll remember that.
See ya.
Ta-ra, love.
Did you get these green figs in specially for me?
Certainly did. There's nobody else round here wants green figs.
Norman will be delighted. He loves them. I think he thinks they're very exotic and rather chic.
Does he?
Norman did drop the reference in. I wrote for Shirley Armitage, did he? I mean, I know how absent-minded he can be.
Oh, yes, I got it.
Can't claim to know Shirley intimately, but I have worked with her for some years now, and I think I know her fairly well. Though I tried to give an unbiased opinion.
That was a very good reference.
Thank you.
Mind you, I was a bit surprised to get a reference for Shirley.
Why should it surprise you?
Well, I thought any reference would be for Curly, you know. I mean, not that I asked him for a reference, like.
Why should I give a reference to Norman?
Well, he's after the flat, isn't he?
Norman wants the flat?
Oh, did you not know?
I most certainly did not.
Oh, I see. Do you still want these figs?
Yes, I do.
Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Why aren't you standing at Mr. Baldwin's right hand?
I'm waiting to speak to you, actually, Norman.
Oh?
I'll get straight to the point. Alf tells me you've asked him if you could have the corner shop flat. Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, I'm very, very hurt and disappointed, Norman.
I don't see why you should be.
Pardon?
I said I don't see why you should be. I mean, I've got every right.
Well, nobody's questioning your right to please yourself, Norman. It's just, well, a sneaky way you've gone about it. I mean, not telling me.
I should have told you.
And letting me write a reference for Shirley, a rival for the flat. I don't understand that at all.
Well, I couldn't tell you then, could I? Not when I found out she was going for the flat and you were so keen to write her a reference. Well, suddenly everything got so, well, complicated.
Which usually happens when you try to be less than straightforward about things.
Yeah.
Why do you want the flat? Why Why do you want to leave here? I thought you were very happy and comfortable.
I am comfortable.
Not happy?
Yes, fairly.
Why do you want to move to a small, cold, not all that salubrious flat then?
Because I want to be on my own.
Well, you're on your own up in your own room, aren't you?
Yes, but it's not the same.
Oh, I see. So my presence in another part of the house makes a difference, does it?
Yes.
Why?
Because you're there.
And you find that off-putting, do you?
Well, yes. Well, no. Well, it doesn't really matter now. All this is irrelevant because I don't want the flat anymore.
Why not?
Because Shirley can have it.
Oh, I see. It's not that you've changed your mind about leaving here. Well, if you do decide to leave in the future, Norman, I'd be grateful if you'd let me know rather more promptly, and then I don't make a fool of myself with people like Alf.
Flipping heck.
You busy, Al?
Busy? I'm rushed off my feet.
Do you want me to take my coat off, give you a hand?
Hey, you're on.
I would do and all if I didn't have 2 committee meetings and a session with the chief executive this afternoon.
I don't know what you're complaining about. I used to do all that and look after the shop.
Ah, but you're a superman, Al.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
See ya.
Yes, Mrs. Franklin. Did you want me?
It'll do later if you're busy.
Right, that's 2 toasted tea cakes, 2 almond tarts, and whatever I fancy. Money, please, Father.
And I want the change.
Yes, Daddy. I'm only being tea girl, you know, because I'm starving as well.
Well, it was part of your job description. Office dog's buddy, it said, right, Ken?
Oh, I thought it was office gopher. Go for this, go for that.
Your name should be Cannon Ball.
Terrific kid. Don't you think?
Yes. Do you know what her own job description is? Advertising executive.
Like father, like daughter. Once, when I was a student, I had a job as a bog attendant. Used to tell all the birds I was a ceramic engineer.
What about your ethics, then?
My ethics?
Business ethics.
I might have 1 or 2 lying around somewhere. Why?
Oh, it's just that I think Fiona's are a little blurred around the edges.
Explain.
Blackmailing people into advertising for us?
Blackmail? It's a bit strong, Ken.
Perhaps it is. Fibbing, then, to get business.
Par for the course. A little fib can mean big business. The difference between success and failure.
So you wouldn't recommend absolute honesty in business?
If it pays to be honest, be honest. If it doesn't,
Fib?
be creative.
Creative? Like Rembrandt is creative.
Selling is an art, Kenneth. And talking of Fiona, she's well on her way to being an artist. You could learn a thing or 2 from her, believe me.
You mean like learn how to speak with forked tongue?
Well, how to get down off your pedestal. During office hours, anyway.
Hiya.
I thought you'd
Gone home. I did, but I've come back again.
hang on. What are you doing?
I've just told you. I've come back again.
Yeah, well, what's the swipe bucket made of?
What do you think? It's got me things in it.
Things?
Me worldly possessions. Look, I went home, didn't I? Me dad wasn't in, so me and me mum got us dinner, and I thought, if I can stay out my dad's way for a couple of days, things might quieten down a bit. Then he comes back, doesn't he? From pub as usual. We have another blazing row about Billy. He called him a moron, a yobbo, a hell's angel. Wouldn't mind, but Billy hasn't even got a motorbike. I mean, you've got to stick up for your boyfriend, haven't you? So, I give him a mouthful and walked out again, with all my stuff this time.
So what are you going to do now?
Well, I've nowhere to go, have I? So, I was wondering if I could stay here for a couple of days, just until I get myself sorted out.
Not to me, that's sort of Sally.
But if it was up to you, you'd say I could.
Well, I don't.
Oh, thanks, Kev. You're a love. What are you? I'll just go and put my bag in my room out of the way. Thanks. Hey, you've got oil on your face. I think it makes you look dead macho. Hiya, excuse me. What do you think you're doing? I've walked out again. Kevin says I can stay here. Well, did you?
Right, thank you, Mrs. Harrison.
Right,
120. I'm just closing, actually.
Oh, it's all right. I don't want anything. I just wondered if...
What?
Well, if you decided anything about the flat.
Well...
I know Mrs. Bishop's given you the reference you wanted.
Yes, I got it.
So I just wondered if you'd made your mind up.
Yes, I have.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, I've decided to let somebody else have it, love.
Oh, see?
Sorry.
Well, I didn't know anybody else was in for it.
Oh, yeah.
Did they have better references than I did?
No, not really.
Well, they didn't gazump me or anything, did they?
Money didn't come into it at all, no. No, it's Curly, as a matter of fact. I mean, he asked first, you see, and, well, first come, first served.
Curly?
That's right.
Oh, dear. Couldn't turf her out, she's your sister.
Yeah, well, you needn't let her twist you around your little finger, because she's good at that.
Yeah, it runs in the family.
I am not like my sister, Kevin, not at all.
Oh, all right.
Tell me, is this unusual, all this rowing, or does this go on all the time?
Oh, only when he does something stupid.
Is it my fault you've got a potty family?
Hey, never insult someone's family, Kevin, it's fatal.
No, I'm not potty. At least you haven't done a disappearing act and abandoned me.
I warned you.
Yeah, well, I'd be happy if they did disappear, preferably to Outer Mongolia.
You said she could stop here, Kevin, so you get rid of her.
She's your sister.
Yeah, but you said she could stop here. I wonder why.
Oh, well, what's that supposed to mean?
Well, who let him wear his jumper this morning?
Yeah, it's better than us swanning about nude, innit?
Hey, this is getting interesting. Do we have a menage a trois here, I ask myself? That's 3 in a bed, plenty vulgar.
Yeah, well, we would have if we were up to him.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Hiya. Oh, hiya. You're Gina. I'm Jenny Bradley, a neighbour. That's funny. I was expecting to find in a fella sweater.
Eh?
Oh, no. That's just when I want to slip into something a bit more comfortable, eh, Kev? Anyway, Arsal, I'm off out now seeing Billy, and I might be late, so I was wondering if I could have a key.
No.
Oh, well, I don't want you waiting up for me.
I won't be waiting up for you, Gina, because if you're not back by the time we go to bed, you get locked out.
Oh, that's not very nice.
No, well, it's a fact, though.
Well, don't go to bed before 12, eh? Ta-ra, Kev. Ta-ra, Jenna.
Ta-ra.
See ya. So that's the famous Gina. There is definitely a family resemblance.
You can get lost and all.
Charming.
Don't you think he looks distinguished?
Yeah, very.
Very cosmopolitan.
That's just the word I was looking for.
Now, it's funny you should say that, because that's just exactly what they've been saying in the Bullet dinner time. Alec, they said, almost to a man. Alec, they said, you look like a white Russian count in that hat.
I know Russians, right?
Of course they are, aren't they?
It was a political distinction during the revolution between white Russians and red Russians.
You mean like between John Wayne and Big Chief Sitting Bull?
Now, did either of you two ever receive an education?
Not a lot, no. You see, love, there was such a lot of distractions.
Like boys.
Exactly.
All the millions of wasted hours teachers have put in down the years in the fond belief they were imparting knowledge.
Have we just been insulted?
Probably. He'll have got it back to admire himself in the mirror. He keeps adjusting the rake.
What are you grinning at?
Oh, it's Alec. He's got himself one of them furry hats.
Oh, you know, I always fancied myself in one of those. There was a Russian colonel wearing one on television the other night. It looked very dashing.
I don't think I've ever seen you in a hat.
Well, you should have seen me in my school cap. It was so finely balanced in my Marcel way, but I didn't even blink in case it fell off. When did the rot set in, Deirdre?
What rot?
Well, she's only, what, 17? She looks it, and she's already got the instincts of a snake. Well, the commercial instincts, anyway.
Fiona.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're exaggerating.
Now, you can have the intelligence, you can have the education, you can have the opportunity. You still finish up as nobody unless you've got the basic cunning as well.
Oh, and you've never been cunning, I suppose.
No. I don't think I have.
You what? What about the time when you were trying to fix Alf Roberts in the council elections? He had that many of your knives sticking out of his back. It looked like a court rack.
Yeah, but it didn't last very long, did it? Didn't have much staying power.
No, you regret not being more of a snake, do you?
Well, I sometimes wonder how much better I'd have done if I'd been craftier. You know, being able to look at people and say, how can I get the better of you, mate? Because a lot of people operate that way. In fact, they consider it a wasted day if they haven't conned somebody.
Well, still not too late.
No, I'm too much of a gentleman. That's what an arts degree does for you.
Listen, I'll tell you what, love. If there's any cunning business needs doing, you come to me. Women have a natural aptitude. It comes from making ends meet and dealing with very small children.
I think all I really need to do is sit and watch Fiona at work. Wouldn't it be better
If what?
Well, if she would sit and watch me at work.
I bet you're a smashing teacher.
Oh, wow.
Why did you give it up?
Wanted to get on in the world.
Watch Fiona.
Thanks, girl.
Ta, love. Yeah.
Come on, Curly, you could have found something to slip down in the corner shop.
Look, I did, but it was packed.
Yeah, but you didn't go back again, did you? Because you don't want to go and tell Alf Roberts you don't want the flat, because you do want the flat.
Look, it's caused enough aggro already.
Yeah, but you still want it, don't you, mate? I mean, be honest, you get a couple of things.
Shirley?
Still want what? Yeah, well, if you're talking about the flat, didn't you know? It's yours, Curly.
But I don't want it.
Oh, I'll turn me down. He says you can have it.
Well, when did he say this?
Oh, does it matter? You've got what you wanted. Don't think you could have told me you were in for it.
Look, the first I knew you wanted it was last night.
You could still have told me. Why was it such a big secret?
You never told me you were going for it.
Oh, well, I would have if I got it.
Look, I would have... Oh, never mind. Look, sit down and have a drink.
No, thanks, Curly. I got this feeling you didn't tell me because... Oh, I don't know, because you didn't want me to know. Anyway, like I said, it's all yours. Where did you get your reference from? Queen.
An upset lady there, Curly. Still, it's all turned out great for you, hasn't it? I mean, you've got your own flat there. Bring on the dancing. Oh, come on, what's up with you now?
Well, look, it's what Shirley said about references.
Huh?
I didn't have a reference. I wasn't even asked for one, and I got the flat.
Yeah.
But Shirley, she had a belting reference from Mrs. Bishop, a pillar of the community, and she got turned down. Why?
Because Alf prefers a bloke in the shop. There could be loads of reasons.
Yes, but there's one particular reason I'm thinking of.
Can I get you anything?
No, thanks. Got me breakfast, Donna.
Bit more toast, another cup of coffee?
What are you trying to do? Get us fat as a pig?
Got to keep your strength up, eh? Man of the house.
Yeah, well, I reckon I'm not doing so bad without your help, Tar, very much.
I've heard no complaints from our cell, any road.
You're a cheeky little mad, isn't
Hey, you do know what time it is, don't you?
Yeah, I'm just shifting.
Some of us do have work to go to, you know, Gina. I wasn't stopping him. And I wish she'd put some clothes on in the morning. She always was the bossy one. Still, there's nothing I can be doing down here. I may as well take myself back to bed for an hour. Yeah, well, when you do eventually surface, Gina, can you put some of your gear away? Because it's beginning to look like a junk shop down here. Yes, sister. Have a nice day.
Talk about making yourself at home.
Yeah, well, she can forget that and all. Putting her up for a couple of nights is one thing, Kev. She's getting harder to shift than paint.
Yeah, well, you can't exactly chuck her on the street, can you? She's your sister.
Yeah, she'll just have to go back to my mum's watch.
Well, she can't do that, can she? Not after all the hassle we had.
Well, Hopney'll have come round by now. Once he realises her gyro check's not coming in and she's not there after the skivvy after him, I'll go round at dinner time. I'll have a word with my mum and see how the land lies.
You think that's a wise thing to do?
Not a lot of choice, have I? She can't stop here forever, can she? Where she's going on, I think she'd be quite happy to.
I don't know what's upsetting you, Norman. Honestly, I don't. All Alf did was tell Shirley she couldn't have the flat because you were having it.
He didn't know what I was doing, did he? He didn't know whether I wanted it or not. Because I never got round to see him. Somebody told Shirley she couldn't have the flat because I was having it. Well, he was just using me.
Using you?
As an excuse to keep Shirley out.
Well, I suppose...
There's no suppose about it, Mrs. Bishop. That's what happened. Exactly what happened.
Well, it is his flat.
But why?
There could be dozens of reasons, Norman.
Like what?
I don't know what's in his mind, do I? But you mustn't forget that Alf wasn't over keen to let that flat to anybody after Kevin and Sally moved out. I mean, it was you and Shirley who approached him. You know, on reflection, he may have decided that if he was going to let it to anyone, he'd sooner have a young man living over his shop than a girl. Because, I mean, if anyone were to break in...
Well, why didn't he just tell her that instead of using me as an excuse?
I'm sure he'd no intention of using anybody.
Well, that's not the way I see it, Mrs. Bishop.
I don't want to chase you out or anything, love, but have you noticed the time? I said, have you noticed the time?
Well, yes, I have. I just want to finish this before I go in, because I won't get any peace and quiet when I get to the office. Fiona will see to that.
Still, if she's making life any easier for you.
Easier? That's a joke. My feet have hardly touched the ground since she came in, her and that father of hers. I used to be in control of that paper.
You still are in control, aren't you?
I'm glad you think so.
Yes, I do. And I'm sure they know it too. But, well, it's bound to be a bit of upheaval at first, you know, new broom and all that.
A bit? Nick and that daughter of his have gone through the place like a dose of salt.
Yes, I know, but maybe when the dust settles, we'll all come out of it a bit better off.
Well, I wish I could share your optimism,
Come
man.
on, there's bound to be some benefits to being part of a bigger group.
Well, if there are, they haven't made themselves very apparent.
Oh, I'll get it.
Morning, is Ken in?
Yes. Who shall I say wants him?
Kavanagh, Nick Kavanagh. I was hoping to catch him before he left for the office.
Oh, yes, right. Come in. Another 5 minutes and you'd have missed him. I'm Mrs. Barlow, by the way, Deirdre.
Ken's wife?
Yeah, that's right.
No wonder it takes him so long to get to the office in the morning.
Oh, now, come on. He doesn't make a habit of it.
Well, it was meant as a compliment.
He's through here. It's Mr. Kavanagh.
Nick, please.
Nick, thought you were in the potteries today.
I was on my way. I wanted to catch you before I left. Those figures I took home yesterday, I had a look at them last night. You may as well have them back. I've made 1 or 2 notes. It's all there.
Oh, right. Oh, thanks.
There was one other thing.
Yeah?
I don't know whether anybody's mentioned your company car.
Company car?
Well, apparently they haven't. They're getting it ready for you this morning. You can pick it up any time after 12 from Roscoe's.
You never said anything about a company car.
I didn't know anything about a company car.
All our executives have company cars.
Oh, well, I don't know what to say.
You could try, thank you.
Oh, forget it. Just pick it up as soon as you can after 12 o'clock. Well, I'll be on my way. See you later, Ken.
Yeah, right. See you. And thanks.
I'll see you out.
Oh, I can find my own way. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Barlow.
Deirdre.
How about that, then?
No perks to being part of a bigger group, eh?
Fancy coming with me to pick it up?
Of course, you try and stop me.
Right. That's it.
Hey?
You want something to eat?
No, sir, no. I better wait and see what Shirley's doing.
Suit yourself, love.
Tom, talk about language. I've heard some right choice phrases in my time, I can tell you. But what I heard over at that centre this morning, tops the lot. It mouth like sewers they have.
Well, if you will have them Flower Club ladies in.
Flower Club ladies got nothing to do with them.
Don't tell me it was the sewing guild.
It's the dustbin men I'm on about, isn't it, eh? Left a trail of rubbish right from my side door right to the cart. And when I tattled them about, I got a mouthful of abuse and it made a sergeant major blush. Well, I think I'm going to let it rest at that.
From where I'm standing, Percy, I don't think you've got a right lot of choice.
That's just where you're wrong, isn't it? Because I regard this as a very serious matter. And I've every intention of writing to the supervisor.
Writing to the supervisor? By heck, Percy, I wouldn't like to get on the wrong side of you.
You used to be one of that lot, didn't you? A bin man.
What about it?
Well, I only hope and trust that you two treat your elders and betters with a bit more respect than this lot do now. Not that I'm tarring you over the same brush, I'm not. One rotten apple, that's what he was.
Who was?
The fella that foul-mouthed me this morning. Well, I'm not having it. I've every intention of taking up my pen.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sugden, I haven't a clue what you're talking about.
This lout of a bin man that left a trail of rubbish from my door right to the cart.
Who was that then?
How do I know? Big fella, ginger hair, teeth like a dry stone wall.
Ah, that'll be Doss O'Sullivan.
Well, whoever it is, he'll not do that again in a hurry, I'll tell you. Not after I've written to his supervisors.
You write to his boss and you can bank on it.
Good.
Because next time he'll empty your bin through your letterbox.
Well, how about the Regal? Could have something to eat first.
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Well, I just don't fancy going out for a meal and then having to rush to get to the pictures, that's all.
All right. We've got pictures first, then have something to eat. Take a Chinese back if you like.
Why bother about the pictures altogether? We could have a quiet night in. I could nip out for a takeaway later on.
Because we've had naught but quiet nights in lately. Thought pictures would be a change.
I don't know why you're bothered about the pictures anyway. We've got the pick of the video stock there, you know.
Yeah, of course, you're right. Why bother going out when we could have a mind-blowing evening at home? There must be half a dozen pair of socks I could be down in.
It doesn't suit you, you know.
What?
Sarcasm.
Neither does hibernation.
Look, have a seat.
So what's the word, Jim? Emily made it sound like it was a matter of life and death.
Well, it's about the flat.
Oh, look, can't we forget about the flat? It's yours, OK? End of story.
It's not mine, and I can't forget about it until I get something straight.
Like what?
Like, why did Alf Roberts tell you I was definitely having that flat when he knew that wasn't true?
It wasn't.
When Alf Roberts told you I was having that flat, he didn't know what I was doing. In fact, I've been looking for an excuse all morning to go round and tell him I didn't want it. So I reckon he used me, because he doesn't want you to have the flat. And I've got a nagging feeling I know why. Now look, I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But if I'm right, well then it sickens me. And it sickens me to the pit of my stomach, believe me.
Look, just forget it, eh? Because it can only make matters worse. It's not the first time something like this has happened to me, you know. And it won't be the last, you can be sure of that.
Look, I said I hoped I was wrong. But tell me something. If Alf offered you that flat now, would you still take it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Right.
8, 9, 10. Thanks very much, look. I'll open the door for you,
I'll
Sean.
do that, look. Thank you, Mrs. Schofield. Mind how you go now.
Oh, it's dead nice, isn't it?
What is?
Saying mind how you go makes them feel that they're wanted and that they're cared for.
Yeah, well, when they spend as much as she does, love, they are.
Right, Mr. Roberts, I'm going to be off now, if that's all right with you.
Ah, you're going back to see him, are you?
Yeah, not a lot of choice, have I? Our Gina doesn't seem to be making much of an effort to get out from under our feet.
Yeah, but going back home won't be the answer, love. Not if your old man's as bad as you say.
Well, she's just going to have to sort something out, isn't she? One thing's for sure, she's not stopping under our roof. I'll see you later.
Aye, okay, love.
Sure.
Ta-ra.
Curly?
Ah, Curly, just the lad I want to see.
Well, that makes two of us, doesn't it?
Hey?
Because I wanted to see you.
Yeah, expect you do about the flat, no doubt.
About the flat that Shirley won't be moving into.
Yeah, well, I've told her that I've decided to let you have it.
You told her I was definitely having it.
Well, same difference.
Not quite, because you didn't know what I was doing, because I never told you. But you've made your mind up, haven't you? Good and proper, that whatever I was doing, Shirley wasn't having it.
Look, it wasn't like that at all.
Oh, I see. So if you knew I definitely didn't want it, you would have offered it to Shirley, would you?
Well,
well, for your information, I don't want the flat. So I take it and go and see Shirley now, can I, and tell her she can have it?
No, hang on a bit, I never said that.
No, you didn't. Not likely to either. Never in a million years. Not if she came in here with a reference carved in 24-carat gold. And we all know the reason why. Well, you know what you can do with your flat, and that goes for the both of us.
Hey, have you seen this?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, it's like ours, isn't it?
Yeah, so?
Have you seen the price they're asking for it? Ours must be worth at least that.
Yeah, I suppose it must.
Shall we ask them while we're here what they want for it?
Hang on a minute.
We won't be needing it, will we? Not with the firm's car. Might as well have the money in the bank instead of rotting away on the street.
I agree, but I think we do a lot better trying to sell it privately.
Suppose you know best? But you know, I still can't believe it. Firm's car, all that money from ours in the bank. I think I'm going to enjoy being married to a newspaper tycoon.
Sorry to keep you, Mr. Barlow. They're bringing your car around now.
Thank you.
Now, if you do have any problems, not that I'm anticipating any, of course, you do have our number, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Right. If you ask for Mr. Terry, the service manager, he'll make sure you get his personal attention. The Clarion Group are very valued customers of ours. Oh, here we are. Here it is now.
That's it.
That's right. She's all yours.
No school today then, Jen?
Private study.
Oh, I can see that.
Oh, it's not easy, is it? You know, I would have going back to school. I don't feel part of it anymore. I don't fit in. Besides, all my friends are working and I never have any money.
Well, it'll be worth it, won't it, once you get them A-level?
So my dad keeps telling me.
Oh, you don't know how well off you are, Jenny. I wish I'd been clever enough to go on till I were 18.
I bet you weren't saying that at the time, though, were you?
No, perhaps
No.
not. but-
I'll see you. Ta-ra. Oh, wait, Sal. If you do see me, Dad or Rita, you haven't set eyes on me all afternoon, all right?
No, well, I wouldn't have, would I? Not with you stuck at home with your head buried in your books. Ta-ra.
Oh, I've been waiting for you in the office.
I'm sorry, love. It's just that Alf wanted to get away.
How'd you get on at your mum's?
No chance. My mum says if our Gina steps foot in that house again, my dad's going to skin her alive, drunk or sober.
So what's she gonna do now?
Well, that's up to her, isn't it? One thing's for sure, she's not stopping under our roof.
Seen enough of you want to photograph.
Not of you, that's for sure.
Why, heck, I'll see you coming in that.
And before you start, no, we don't sell papers.
Well, I never thought for a minute you did.
Well, that's something, I suppose.
Ice creams, maybe.
Oh, now come on, it's not that bad once you get used to it.
Get used to it? Means you say it's stopping here? That's right.
It's Ken's new company car.
Company car? You mean he's got to drive around all day in that thing?
Oh, that's nothing. Just wait till next week.
Next week?
Yeah, he's been fitted for his sandwich boards on Monday.
But why, Norman?
I had no choice, Mrs. Bishop. Not after the way you treated Shirley.
I still don't understand what you're getting so worked up about. I'm sure if Shirley had been the one to be offered the flat...
That's the whole point. She wouldn't be, would she? Never in a million years.
I'm sorry, I don't think I'm with you.
Alf Roberts had no intention of letting Shirley have his rotten flat. He was just stringing her along, building up her hopes.
What about the reference? He'd never have asked for that if he hadn't been thinking seriously about it.
He had to say something to stall her, didn't he? He reckoned she wouldn't get a reference anyway, not from someone he rated.
Oh, I find all this very difficult to believe.
I didn't need a reference.
Well, he knows you better than Shirley.
That's not the only difference between us.
Sorry, I don't think I'm with you.
Oh, come on, Mrs. Bishop. I don't have to spell it out for you, do I?
Oh, you heard what he said. It's a joke, isn't it?
Come on. If we took any notice of half of what Percy Sugden has to say, we'd all be as daft as he is.
Yeah, but he's right, isn't he? That isn't a car, it's a mobile advertising hoarding.
Well, I think you should count your blessings. I saw a fella driving round once in a tube of toothpaste. You could quite easily have found yourself trundling round at the front end of a rolled-up copy of the Weatherfield Recorder, you know. Hey, now, there's a thought. That'd really put the recorder on the map. I wonder if Nick's thought of it. What time do you say he'd be back?
All right, all right. Well, if you don't mind being driven around a travelling billboard, then why should I worry? I mean, it's costing me nothing.
Well, exactly. Mind you, I can't speak for Tracy. I reckon she'd much prefer the toothpaste tube.
Oh, have you seen me Paradise Pink anywhere?
Hey?
My lipstick, I had it this morning.
Sorry, it's not my shade.
Uh-huh. That's my jacket. I know, goes great, doesn't it?
How many times have I told you about going through my things?
I was only borrowing it.
Yeah, but the least you could do was ask me.
You'll not be wanting this jacket tonight, will you?
No, I won't as it happens.
There you are, then. Ha! Ta, Sal.
Ah! Gotcha. If you've got any of that lipstick on that carpet, Gina.
Don't worry, I haven't. You know, you ought to calm down a bit, Sal. You're living on your nerves. That's one thing I've noticed since I've been here.
Gina, I don't...
Oh, heck. Oh, that'll be Billy and I'm nowhere near ready yet. That's from you two keeping us nattering.
We can't go on, Kevin. She's driving me round the bend. I don't feel like my home is my own anymore and my thing's nothing.
Well, I thought you was going to have a word with her.
I have. I've tried, haven't I? She says she'll move out as soon as she finds somewhere else. That could be weeks or months. What about if you had a word with her?
Yeah, well, only I won't wrap it up in silver paper and tie it in a big bow. I'll do what you should have done and said, look, Gina, enough is enough on your bike.
This is Billy.
Billy?
Hiya.
That's our Sal and that's a fella, Kev.
He's my husband, actually.
Yeah, take the weight off your feet. I won't be long.
Thanks. Nice place. Well, we like it.
She dropped on her feet when she landed here, all right?
Tarlo.
On your own some tonight, then?
He might be along later. Honest, if he sits in front of that telly much longer, I'm sure he'll take root.
Hey, don't knock it, kid. At least you know where he is. That's more than I can say for my ever-loving at the moment.
Out, is he?
Is he ever anything else these days?
Well, at least you can go with Alec.
Oh, aye, great. Just what I need is that. Doing the rounds of the whistling strippers and the geriatric clog dancers.
Oh, come on, it can't be that bad.
No, come to think of it, he did come up with something a bit special last week. A 16-stone bus driver stood on a barrel, juggled 3 balls and sang My Way in 3 different languages.
You want to count your blessings, lady. I mean, I listen to Mavis and her problems all day long at the cabin, then go home to Alan, who has about as much life in her as a pot dog. Honest, my life's fair fizzing along at the moment.
When you two ladies have finished drowning your swords, I'll have another half in there, please.
You know where we went wrong, don't you, Rita? Not settling for an older fella. Eh? Yeah, like Percy here. The answer to every woman's dream. Active, alert, and available.
I'll tell you something, if I were 10 years younger, I'd give you a run for your money. The both of you. Take it out of that. I'll be back.
Listen, if he were 10 years older, he could give me a run for my money the way things are going at the moment.
Of course, she could have come down and dosed at my place, I suppose. Not that it's up to much. A dog kennel's 5-star luxury in comparison. Still, it's a roof over my head. And when you've been out of work as long as I have, well, you're grateful for anything, aren't you?
Well, how long have you been out of work for?
It would be quicker to work out how long I'd been in work. Mind you, I'm better off than Dave.
Dave?
Shares with me. He's never had a job at all. Lucky we're men of simple tastes, eh? But we don't want much out of life. If people would just get off our backs and let us get on with it, we'd be happy as pigs in muck.
What people?
Well, the landlord, for one. He'd see us homeless, he would, soon as look at us. Not that it's much of a place to start with. 2 peddling little rooms. If he kept chickens in there, he'd have the animal rights people on his back. But honest, the way he carries on, just because we're a couple of weeks behind with the rent.
I think he's got every right to shut you out then.
We'll do our best, don't we? We'll pay what we can when we can. We can't do better than that now, can we?
Well, where would you go if he evicted you?
Don't you worry. We're not going anywhere. Jeff will see to that.
Jeff?
My personal manager. Takes care of all my affairs, does Jeff.
You've got a personal manager?
The law prefers to call him a probation officer. Mind you, he's one of the best mates I ever had, is Jeff. Straight as a die. You know where you stand with him. He'll get it sorted out. He's not let us down yet.
Fit then?
For you, darling, any time.
Oh. Right, what time are you going to be back?
I don't know, do I?
Well, don't forget, Gina, that Kevin and I have got to get up for work in the morning.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. 3 bags full, ma'am. Come on, you.
See ya.
See ya.
You know what's up?
Well, he doesn't make it any easier, does he?
Hey?
We can't chuck her out, can we? Not now we know where she's going to end up.
Plain, some vinegar or smoky bacon?
Salt and vinegar.
All right, then. They add up. £1.12p.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, smashing. Add up.
Poor bit Nanny. Will you get off that?
Yeah.
Tom. Oh, does this mean we won't be going for a pizza then?
No, I just thought I'd get them for now.
Oh, it was a joke. Oh, look, cheer up, will you? I told you. What happened over the flats? All water under the bridge now.
Well, I can't help feeling I've fouled it up. For both of us. I mean, neither of us are going to get it now, are we?
It wasn't your fault. If it was anybody's, it was Alf Roberts. Well, what matters is that we're still mates. So let's just forget about the flat, shall we? Forget it ever happened. I don't want to hear another word about it, all right?
Well, if you say so.
I do.
That's it.
Yes, thanks.
I hope that hot-headed lodger of yours has cooled down since this dinner time. I suppose he told you he was in here shouting the odds.
Yes, he told me. And to be quite honest, Alf, to say I was surprised is putting it mildly.
Well, how do you think I felt, walking through all that flat? When I was only trying to do the lad a favour.
It isn't Norman's behaviour that surprised me. It's yours.
Mine?
It's yours, towards Shirley.
Oh, he's been talking to you, has he?
I'm quite capable of reaching my own conclusions, thank you very much.
So am I and all. Listen, I'm getting more than a bit fed up with folk throwing these veiled accusations about. If you think I turned Shirley down because of the colour of her skin, why didn't you come straight out with it?
Are you telling me that wasn't the reason?
I don't believe I'm hearing this. Not from you, of all people.
Well, what am I expected to think? You haven't actually denied it, have you?
I think you better leave.
Don't worry. I intend to.
It's all cleared out, the street's empty.
Okay, very funny, young lady, very funny. Now, if it's too tacky for you, if you don't want to go to school in it, say so now.
Oh, well, you could just drop her off at the corner. I mean, think of the rivage you'll get. School kids can be very cruel.
Yeah, so can Joe Public. Come on, in you get. I've got to drive this thing all over town, don't forget. Bye, love.
Bye, love. Hello? Has the circus come to town or what? Is this a motorised sea or a carnival on wheels?
It's a company car bet, all on the firm. It's what's called a perk. Only given to the chosen few, so your envy is understandable. In fact, I think I know what I'm going to be called from now on. A jerk driving a perk, and you're probably right.
Am I getting it wrong? Or is Kenneth not best pleased with his motorised poster?
Well, you know what he's like.
Oh, a fellow spirit, shy and retiring to a fault. Still, it's money in the bank, isn't it? I mean, that car of yours must be worth a bob or two. There might be something new and sexy in it for you, Rose Petal.
Oh, like what?
Well, like a pair of long johns. What else did you have in mind?
Well, having had time to think about it, I wouldn't mind keeping our own car, then I can get my licence.
Oh, you want to drive then?
Yeah, I'd like to grow wings, but failing that.
Can be teaching you like?
I suppose so. Not that I've asked him yet. He still wants to get rid. But I do need my own transport, what with my council business and everything. I was hoping he'd realise. Still, if I don't put my best foot forward...
Get in there, kid, before he sells it and buys your bike. See ya.
See ya.
I was going to wear this and look at it.
All right, stop waving it about. You're creating a dress.
All washed and ironed, Kevin, and laid out. Where do I find it? In with the mucky stuff. Now what am I going to wear?
Well, what you've got on looks fine.
I had this on yesterday and the day before. Our Gina has no right pinching my gear. I had enough of that when I was at home. And I'm not standing for it anymore.
What's all the rowing about? Shouldn't you two be at work?
We would be. Well, at least I would be if you hadn't pinched my blouse.
What blouse?
This blouse, Gina. The blouse I plan to wear today, and I've searched the whole flipping house for it. And for Pete's sake, will you put some clothes on?
I've got no clean. If I wash that blouse, can I wear it today, Sal?
Oh, I mean, I've got no chance, have I? And I suppose you've had me blusher and all, haven't you?
I wouldn't use blusher even if I could afford it. Nice little shiner, KW. Did Sally give you that when she caught you pinching a lipstick?
No.
So it wasn't a dream then, was it, eh? You did come creeping into the room, muttering seductive endearments. Mind you, I shouldn't have hit you that hard,
It
should
was
I?
a call of nature.
Nature may be, but you being wed to me sister and that...
3 o'clock in the morning, I'm taking short and some lunatic touched the landing light out and left a chair underneath.
I'm sorry about that, Kev. Bulb went in my bedroom.
Oh, it's a wonder you didn't wake up, isn't it? That's unless you had Billy, what's his name, in there with you. Are you ready, Kevin? Can you drag yourself away from that box of cornflakes?
Yeah, best be shifting.
So I can wear this blouse today, can I, Sal? Only Billy's coming round later after he's seen the probation officer and that.
Oh, yeah, of course you can, Gina. You know, and if Billy fancies wearing Kevin's best jacket, you know, feel free.
What gets on my week is I've never advertised the flat. First of all, I get Shirley on the off chance. Then Curly Watts comes in. And then before I can make my mind up, I've got Emily Bishop in calling me a racist.
Oh, I see.
What do you mean, you see? What have you heard?
Well, the way Emily tells it, you had actually offered Curly the tenancy.
Oh, is that what she's broadcasting?
No, she told me in confidence. But if she's right, Alf, you've got to face it. Favouring Curly does seem strange.
No, mate, I've known that lad for ages. Who is this Armitage girl? She's some harum-scarum kid, comes in here for barm cakes now and then.
Yeah, but as I understand it, she was first in the queue.
There is no queue, there's only her and Curly.
Well, that makes it worse.
Well, it's a bit much if you can't be loyal to them, as you know.
Yeah, there could be a different meaning put on that, Alf.
Oh, I know. I'm prejudiced. I only see the colour of folks' skin. The fact that I want a bloke upstairs, whether he's black, white or purple, just for security reasons, that's baloney.
Now you sound sexist.
Here, don't you start waving your banner. I wanted you to arbitrate.
Look, Alf, if you want my honest opinion, I think you should give the flat to Shirley.
Yeah, well...
I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Roberts. It was our Gina. She borrowed me blouse. I could shoot her.
By heck, Alf. Sally's got a better line in flannel than I ever had. See ya.
It was our Gina. Honest, cross me out. She's driving us potty.
Look, Sally, am I prejudiced? Just look at them shelves. There's stock from all corners of the globe. And why? Because I have to cope for all sorts. Blimey, O'Reilly, a grocer can't afford to be prejudiced.
Hiya, you been here long?
No, just a minute. I got your lager and a pie. Is that all right?
Oh, smashing it.
Right, about this flat.
For what it matters, I think you should take it.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't take it if he paid me to live there.
Okay, suit yourself. But it won't change, Al. People like Alf Roberts don't alter. I know, I've had it since mixed infants.
Well, I think you're wrong. I think it's just being negative.
Okay. So we're shoulder to shoulder on this. And then what? I'm just a working girl, me. I don't fancy being an issue. In any case, I don't want to drive you back to your digs, to Mrs. Bishop, who'll fuss you to death. If you don't take this flat, will you find another? I don't want you leaving the district. Me. What'd I do for fun?
Having another?
Hey? Oh, Billy, put your money away now. It's my shout. What are you having?
Just a half. Just a half. Thanks very much.
2 halves of bitter, please, Bessie.
Okay, lovey.
Gina not with you?
Popped into your house. She threw me out while she does her washing and that.
So you scented the ale and followed your nose, eh?
I was looking for a prayer meeting or something. Is this one of these places of sin, what they call bruisers then?
So they say. Cheers.
Cheers.
There you are, darling.
How's the fella?
What fella?
Your probation officer.
Oh, him?
How is he?
He's all right. Well, how's yours? Beat you up, does he? Or have you had tea at the father-in-law's lately?
You've met him, have you?
We've had 1 or 2 disagreements. Mind you, I saved him a black eye that would have put yours in the shade. Put my body between him and Gina. She throws a good right hand.
I got this falling over a chair.
Anyway, can't stand around gassing. Thanks for the treat. I'll see you right next time. If you see Gina before I do, can you tell her I'll be around later on?
Get back, what's the rush? I'm a working man, mate. I've got half an hour yet.
I want to catch the library. Once I get my head in them car manuals, time means nothing. Cheers, Kev.
See you, Billy.
Lightning visit that, weren't it? Who is he, a broker?
His name's Billy Wyatt. He's courting the sister-in-law.
Oh, seems a bright lad. What line's he in?
Outlet's going. Makes him a bit like the rest of us, doesn't it?
Well, it's all going too far. I mean, dig for victory, yes. Careless talk costs lives, certainly. And now those were slogans worth saying. But today you get a couple of football teams. If you come from Marge, you think it's some brewery outfit playing some Japanese car firm.
Yeah, well, look, anyway, apart from all that, I'm open to offers. One slightly used, beautifully cared-for motor car, low mileage, and it's got a new battery.
You serious?
Yeah.
You're selling?
Well, why not? Can't drive 2 cars, can I?
Right, go on then, I'll make you an offer.
Hold on. Is this an auction?
If you're interested.
2 grand.
2 grand?
3.
Well, I'd make an offer, only all my money's tied up.
Yeah, hang on, now let's be serious. I've not had it valued yet. I'll get it properly valued this afternoon, and then I'm open to genuine offers, see?
Hey.
What?
Have you had his lordship's blessings?
Give over, buy a car. We'll never get a tandem, will we? I'm dying to get Alec in shorts. I want to sit behind him and watch his little short, fat, hairy legs pumping away.
Oh, ask a daft question.
Oh, Deirdre wants the flipping car, don't she? There's Ken, nice as ninepence. Does he realise?
Thanks very much, love. Bye. Hi, Jenny. Are you playing hockey or what?
Hey, do you want scragging? Look, I was at home, right, revising, and I go to the kitchen to make myself a jam butty, and what do I find?
No bread.
Hey, Sal, is your sister daft or what?
I beg your pardon?
I mean, she's pegging out in this weather. I know it's fine now, but in 10 minutes it could be chucking it down.
That'll be my blouse, that will, getting shrunk.
It weren't just a blouse, Sal. She's done a line full.
Oh.
I said to her, do you want to use our dryer? And then she said, no thanks all the same. I've already done my hair. She thought I'm an hairdryer.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Jenny. Gina's not dim, and neither am I.
Sisters, there were never such devoted sisters.
Sally, I'm not shopping. I just wondered if Mr. Roberts was about.
Oh, well, he's gone out on his dinner break. Well, he should be back any minute now, though.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, perhaps you could help me. I suppose you know how I feel about this shameful business of Shirley not getting the flat.
Don't worry. If I'm on anybody's side, I'm on yours.
Really? Oh, well, in that case, perhaps you could help me. Hello there, Alf. Take it you're still a grass widow, then?
And it's tough going, I'll tell you. It never rains, but it pours.
Oh, turning out to be a long job, then. This relative of Audrey's not popped off, then, yet?
No, well, it's very complicated, you know. Anyway, I hope that whatever happens, I'll have Audrey back with me in the next few days. Oh, will you excuse me? I'll see you later.
Okay, sure.
Excuse me, miss. Can I have a word with you?
Make it snappy, then.
Yeah, well, you likely know I've had words with Mrs. Bishop, and I've had words with Curly.
And they both got it wrong. You are not and never have been prejudiced.
Look, the colour of your skin never entered me.
You sure?
It's just that I thought you couldn't afford it.
I don't remember the rent being mentioned. What would it have been then? 15 quid for Curly, 20 for me.
It'd be 20 for whoever gets it.
Well, I am more than Curly.
Yeah, well, the rent doesn't come into it, love. It's just the matter that you're a single girl.
Oh, what was Bet Lynch then? Or perhaps it's just single girls with morals, you don't think?
Here, now, steady on.
Look, you tie yourself in knots, Mr. Robert. But there's no need to explain. It's your flat. Do what you like with it.
Hey, has Emily Bishop just been here?
Yeah.
What does she want?
Well, she wanted a word with you, but she did ask me a few things.
About what?
About the flat, about what the terms were, about how long Kevin and I
Of
had
all the
had it.
flipping cheek, what's it got to do with her? You didn't tell her out, I hope.
Well, I don't see why not. It's no secret.
But what's she after, anyway?
Well, at the death of it, when I'd given her a chapter and verse about it all, well, she did say that she needed to get her facts right.
Well, the facts are I'm going to have to practically double it. I've no option. I mean, I let you live here dirt cheap because you were working here. I suppose she'll be running to the papers now.
No, I don't think so. But, well, what she did say was that, well, she might feel bound to go to the race relations people.
I bet he tried it on, didn't he? Come on. Midnight patrol touch, was it? Swift creep around, move over, I'm coming aboard, huh?
If Kev pulled a stunt like that, he'd get more than a black eye.
Oh, yeah. You'd bite him to death.
Not everybody's got your nerve, you know, Billy.
Nerve? I'm all shoulder pads. They're dead lucky, you know, aren't they?
Who are?
Kev and Sal. There they are, a job each. And here's us. We haven't even got one between us.
You should have come down to the job centre with us today. They went out for me, but you might have found something.
Nigel Mansell need a mechanic, does he?
No, and they're not taking no fashion models on either. That's next week. Still, there was some good opportunities in dishwashing.
Oh, great.
Still, it's better than dreaming, isn't it? I mean, look, Billy, if we ever want to get this place of our own, we're going to have
I
to...
saw this film in a box. Bloke about my age, working in a factory making bikes. It was in the 50s. He thought it was death. Me, I'd kill for it.
You may know your engines backwards, Billy, but you've had no training, have you?
Got the magic touch. All I need is a chance.
You and your magic touches, eh?
Oh, how?
I'm sorry to intrude, but if you can spare a minute or two.
By all means. Come in.
I've got a shop to look after, so I won't beat about the bush. As I understand things, you're starting some sort of crusade against me.
Crusade's a bit strong, but I'm certainly not prepared to let the matter drop.
You seem to be taking this very personally. I mean, anybody would think I turned you down.
Alf, be sensible. Shirley's desperate for accommodation. Is Norman? She's a steady wage earner. All Norman's got is a grant, plus what he makes from his doorstep selling, which is practically nothing these days.
All right. Now, let me ask you a question. If Norman took the flat, would you offer Shirley his room?
Whether or not, it would have nothing to do with the fact that she's black.
Now, honestly, Emmy, nothing to do with it?
Nothing.
Yeah, well, it seems to me that more people deny these feelings than...
You might not remember this, but I did foster 2 little black children for quite some time.
Oh, and that makes you Miss Wonderful and me a dyed-in-the-wool bigot.
Well, the way you've been acting...
Let's face it, Emily, are your motives so pure? Because if Shirley does take the room, you keep your prize lodger. Anybody knows that you think you're his mother.
Maybe they're right, because I am very fond of Norman. But my feelings aren't important, and neither are yours, Alf, because we're not the victims. Shirley's the victim of your prejudice.
For the umpteenth time, I am not prejudiced. I'll tell you how I feel. I feel pestered. I feel pestered to death. Because if there's been any bias, I've tried to do something about it. I went to see Shirley not an hour ago, and all I got was a load of wisecracks.
Well, I suppose that's the only way she can cope.
Oh, by the way, I had an offer this lunchtime. Alan Bradley seemed quite interested.
In what?
In the car.
He's nipped in a bit sharpish, hasn't he? And anyway, do we have to sell? Tracy, love, will you just go and see to them peas before they boil over? And then nip next door to Auntie Emily's, see if she's got a leaf or two of fresh mint.
No, errands.
Go on.
No, it wasn't just Alan. I had bet-making bids as well.
Well, I reckon we ought to hang on for a bit.
Well, I certainly wouldn't sell to bet. The roads are dangerous enough as it is. Mind you, I don't think she was serious. It sounded like one of her mysterious little sendos.
I don't see why Bet couldn't be a perfectly good driver. Not that I want you to sell the car to her any more than I think you should sell to Alan.
Just a minute, I don't get this. I mean, who did you have in mind?
Well, who do you think?
I don't know.
Me.
You?
Yeah, to use, to get about, instead of all these taxis I keep charging on the rates.
But you can't drive, love.
Come in, number 9.
Oh, well, you could learn, I suppose, but,
Aha! Light dawns, the penny drops.
I don't believe it. If I stayed up until midnight, there'd still be somebody wanting to get in this blooming shop. Oh, it's you. I hope you've calmed down a bit.
Look, Mr. Roberts, I've come here to talk business, and I'm prepared to be rational.
Now, look, lad, I had a word with Mrs. Bishop, and I held my hand up that I might have appeared to be a bit biased.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I've come straight from college.
So, you see, it was all somewhat about nothing. I just thought I was being practical. But who knows? I mean, this race thing cuts very deep, you know. We're none of us immune. Anyway, the upshot is that if Shirley wants the flat, she can have it.
Well, have you spoken to Shirley about it?
Well, not since I made my mind up, no.
Oh, well, you see, the thing is, I've changed mine.
I don't believe
Well,
it.
I've talked to Shirley about it and thought it all through, and I'd like to reapply.
Oh, no, not on your Nelly. I'm not going to be dropped on again, not for you and a King Tut.
Well, you wouldn't be dropped on. I've talked to Shirley about it, and she's happy.
Oh, I see. So it's all right for you and Shirley to talk about my flat, but I can't. What happens if I turn you down again? I'll be up for discrimination against students, will I?
Look, Mr. Roberts, it's just the difference between a rational choice and an irrational choice.
Oh, is it? Right, well, I'll say one thing and then I've finished. It's £20 a week rent, and the tenant pays the gas and electricity bills. And who that might be, you can sort out between the two of you. Now, I want to know quickly, because otherwise it'll be in the paper, and that'll be that.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, mate, love. Got a rush job on. Fella needed his motor for work. Where's the sexual threat?
If you mean Gina, her and Billy the kid have gone out. They're probably doing their first mugging, Kev, right now.
It's not that bad when you get talking to him.
Yeah. Well, he's been in trouble, auntie. I don't know what, but 'cause it just makes jokes about it all the time.
Yeah, well, we've got something in common anyway, me and Billy. We both love you, Dad.
That's it, you see. How can I send our Gina back home so he can beat her about?
Well,
how long can she stop here, though?
if you kicked her out, you know where she'd live. Billy's place, that's for sure.
Yeah. That's next door to the gutter, that is, isn't it?
It's up to you.
Yeah. Well, it's just Billy skulking about all the time.
Well, he might get a job. Believe he's interested in mechanics. Could ask around here and there, see if he's outgoing.
Yeah. Well, at least if she's under our roof, we can try and talk a bit of sense into her. Oh, listen to us, Kev, at our tender age. We're like a couple of social workers.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you very much. There, love.
I say, Mrs. Turpin.
What?
Hey, there's been bother between Mr. Roberts and Mrs. Bishop.
That's news to me.
Ah, well, you know, I only heard whispers like, but being a chap who keeps his ear to the ground.
You want to watch it, it can cripple your back.
No, joking apart, I think it's about that flat over at shop. Front factory's been after it, you know. Shirley somewhat or other, and Mr. Roberts had said no coloureds.
Well, I think that's a shame. I mean, can he do it?
Oh, he's in a minefield. I mean, I've been busy waxing my floors, otherwise I'd have weighed in with Mrs. Bishop. No, I'm red hot on the finer points of the law.
Yeah, I'm very sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, that's life, really. Anyway,
well, yeah, well, I was sort of banking on it. So, I can't persuade you then? You're not selling?
Sorry, no, blame the two-car family syndrome. Myself, I think the family that drives together stays together. But Deirdre wants a licence, and with all the extra allowances she's got, I think we can afford it.
You're splashing out a bit, aren't you?
Just fancy the motor, that's all.
We've got mine.
No, love, you've got yours. I just have a lend of it.
Moan.
It's not a moan, it's a statement of fact. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's a darts knockout on tonight, and I put my name down.
It fetches me out, then goes off chucking darts.
Well, I feel like chucking something. Right, lads.
What did you say about the family that drives together?
Oh, I reckon I could just about wangle a limo out of Valley. We're very sympathetical at the moment.
Yes, I'd noticed.
Mind you, I'd only have it about a week. You'd have me a taxi cab in the summer.
No, seriously though, let's make a competition out of it.
Give over. Practice you've likely had. You must be next door to passing already.
I'm a complete novice. Ken don't like you talking to him while he's driving. He gets neurotic if you fiddle with radio. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what, when I go and pick my provisional driving licence form up, I'll get you one. Be great, swapping notes.
Not to mention driving instructor. Well, I'm tempted, but I can't see it myself. You see, I'm a menace with a vac. A parachute course would be safer.
Give up.
Pint of bitter, please, love.
Hello, love. Have you had a good day?
What? If you knew the half of it.
Oh, I won't ask you about Audrey then.
Audrey? Who's Audrey?
I hear Emily Bishop's run after your blood.
Well, if you must know, we did have a difference anyway. It got a bit heated, but it's all sorted now.
So Shirley's going to be a new tenant then, is she?
Well, it's between her and Curly. I left it up to them. Anyway, I saw Emily on the way here, and she seems quite happy.
She's not going to be too pleased if Curly leaves.
Look, that's her problem. I had quite enough of folks' finer feelings being thrust down my throat.
Yeah.
Am I hearing right? Is my information correct? Is prejudice going to rear its ugly head in this street? Because be warned, if so, I'll have no truck with it.
I say, do you mind, Percy? Can I just finish this pint in peace?
I'm just letting you know what you're up against, Councillor, that was. I'm backing Mrs. Bishop on this issue.
There is no issue. The war's over.
I mean, I served with the Gurkhas. Fine fighting men they were.
Listen, Percy, if Curly Watts does take this tenancy, we're going to need the Gurkhas round here to look after Emily. In the house by herself and a bandit like you roaming round. Clue him up, will you, love? I haven't got the patience.
Right. Hey, feed him.
Right then, so that's settled. You take the flat and I'm the first invite. I'm the girl who comes to dinner. Oh, listen, you have to feel good about this, you know.
Oh, I do feel good about it. Got my own space, my freedom. Even got my first date lined up.
You have to mean it. No guilt. No going off me because you feel guilty.
Oh, look, what's the point? Of course I feel guilty. I'm bound to feel guilty. It wouldn't be right if I didn't. By rights, that flat should be yours. I think you should take it and I'll be the one ringing the bell.
It wouldn't work that way. I know you. You wouldn't turn up. You'd feel all inadequate or something, like it was always my tree.
Look, if I moved into that flat, it'd be like a cop-out. It's like dodging an issue.
I don't want to be an issue.
Look, if we lived in a sane society, you'd be in that flat now.
Yeah, on me Todd, knitting carpets.
Knitting what?
Carpets, chairs, because I couldn't afford them. All I've got is a pot plant.
I'm not a millionaire, you know. I can't even knit.
I'll teach you to knit then.
What's all this about knitting? Look, I want to be serious.
I'm being serious. Hey, it's just hit me like a ton of bricks. Don't you see? Well, it needn't be your flat or mine. Could be ours. We could share. Hiya!
Hiya!
God, is this what you look like first thing in the morning?
Yeah, and this is one of your better mornings.
Still, I should thought you haven't seen me when I've just rolled out of bed. Any nightmares last night?
Nightmares?
You know about what we decided with the flat.
No, why should I have any nightmares about it?
Good. See you then.
See ya. What was that for?
Nothing in particular. Just felt like it.
Oh, no.
Where have you been?
I'm talking to Shirley.
Oh. Were you just passing the time of day, or were you conferring?
Conferring?
Out the flat. Which of you is going to have it?
No, not exactly.
The flat was mentioned.
Yeah.
But you're not disposed to talk about it to me, who's just as much involved in the exercise as you are. You moving into the flat then means moving out of here, where you've lived for considerable time.
5 years.
Exactly. Considerable time. Moving out, obviously going to alter things, not only for you, but for me. House won't be the same when you go. Seem empty and dull. I realise young people want to be independent. I just don't understand you wanting to move into that pokey flat when you've got both
comfort and independence here. I can't see it being much fun sitting up there on your own after the novelty's worn off. That is, if you are taking it. Not Shirley.
We're both having it.
Pardon?
I said we're both having it. We're sharing it.
You're not getting married.
No.
I see. Have you thought about this, Norman?
Of course I have.
Carefully?
You don't approve, do you?
No, I do not approve.
Why? Because it's Shirley? Don't tell me another Alf Roberts under the skin, not after all you said about him and his attitude.
No, not because it's Shirley. I don't approve of people living...
In sin, that's what you're going to say, weren't you? Well, there's a lot of it about.
Maybe. But that doesn't make it right. Not in my eyes. Living together to me means marriage. It always has and it always will.
You're assuming rather a lot, aren't you? Jumping to conclusions. We're just sharing a flat, occupying the same space because it's more convenient. Who says anything else is involved?
Oh, don't insult my intelligence, Norman. I'm not that naive. And talking of...
What?
Well, if you want the blunt truth, I don't think it's your thing, moving in with a girl. You've not exactly had a lot of experience of girls, have you, Norman?
Of course I have.
Well, I haven't noticed.
What do you know about my private life? I've been out with hundreds of girls, me, scores of them.
Well, if you say so, Norman. But taking a girl to the pictures is very different from living with her, very different. And especially a girl you haven't known all that long.
I've known her for ages.
But only very casually. I rather think she's largely an unknown quantity to you, Norman. And if you'll take my advice, you'll at least get to know one another better before you commit yourselves to even a synthetic marriage. It might not just be an unhappy experience. It might also be a damaging one for somebody as... well, somebody like you. I can't see Alf giving it his wholehearted approval either.
What she doesn't understand, or what she doesn't seem to understand, is that she's spoiling it for me and Kevin just by being there, apart from anything else. Don't you agree with me, Mr. Roberts?
Hey? Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, this is supposed to be a very romantic time for us, building up a home together. Instead, we've got me crazy little sister bombing about. She's half undressed, pokes her nose into absolutely everything. I mean, would you put up with it, Mr. Roberts? You see, the trouble is, though, I can't throw our Gina out, can I? Because where would she go? I mean, she can't go home, can she, because of my dad? And she'd probably end up in trouble because she's going out with that divvy of a boyfriend. She's more than capable. She could even end up in prison. What do you think, Mr. Roberts? Mr. Roberts?
Look, don't ask me. I've stopped getting myself involved with people's lives and problems because it just gets me in trouble, like with Shirley and that flat. I used to have opinions and dole out advice when I was a councillor. That was expected of me. It was part of the job. But now that I'm just a grocer, I've got no opinions, I've got no advice, I've got nothing. Not even thoughts. From now on, I'm just a dummy in a white overall.
But you don't escape your problems like that, though, can you? They won't go away just because you're choosing to ignore them.
Folk cause problems. That's why I'm having no truck with them. Then no one can blame me for anything.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, my problems will soon be over. Because Kevin's trying to find her boyfriend a job far enough away, hopefully, and then he'll take Gina with him.
Ah, good.
Oh, thanks for nothing.
Morning.
What are you doing up? Thought you were supposed to be ill.
I am. I'm very fragile.
Oh, well, then you won't be wanting any breakfast, will you?
Yeah. Just a couple of slices of toast and marmalade will be all right, thanks.
Well, you can get it yourself and you can eat it in the kitchen. I'm not spending my holidays waiting on you. Breakfast is 8 till 8:30, not a second after.
I hear you.
You're not really ill, are you?
Well, I was.
No, you're not. You're skiving. You told Rita you were ill because you didn't want to go to the cabin, didn't you?
Don't be so silly.
You're fed up working there, aren't you? You've been dead bored for weeks.
No, I've just made a miraculous recovery, that's all.
I'll tell Rita you were skiving.
You can tell her what you like.
35p, please.
Gone up, hasn't it?
Last week.
I'm only a student, you know.
Oh, you and Percy Sutherland make a good pair. Should have heard him going on about it. I bet he's got more money than me.
Well, I certainly haven't. I'm a pauper, me.
You know, even Luke's miserable on a fine day, doesn't he?
Hiya, Curly.
Hiya, Gina.
Are you going to sit here then?
Look, if you don't mind, I'm in a reflective mood. I'd rather sit on my own.
All right, do you like that? And where have you been? I've been waiting nearly an hour for you.
Ducking and diving, bobbing and weaving. Give us a coffee and a sticky bun, will
Not
you?
till you tell me where you've been.
Happened to wander past Kev's garage, didn't I?
What for? You don't pass it on the way here.
You're not very bright, are you? I mean, you look bright with all that eye sparkle, whatever it is on, but really
all
you're not.
right, I get it. I'm thick. Now, what have you been doing at Kev's garage?
I was hoping to bump into him, accidentally on purpose, like. See if there was any work going. I've already told him there's not much I don't know about cars.
And what did he say?
He was out on a job.
Oh.
So, had a natter with his boss instead.
And?
He's a bit of a Rambo type, so he didn't say much. But I could see he was dead impressed.
Oh, he would be.
So, get us a coffee and a sticky bun then.
Yes, me lord. Give us some money then. Hiya.
All right. So you've got Dimbo with you?
But of course.
Yes, no.
Could I have a cup of tea and a necklace cake? 35p, and if you complain about the price, I'll chuck it over your head.
Listen, no, Miko.
You know I'm all talk, don't you?
Yeah. Cheers, man. Oh, hey, up. Why aren't you at college? You get done for playing through it, you know, Curly. Up before the juvenile courts.
It's just a vacation, isn't it?
Aye. You know, I can never understand why these schools and colleges have all these long holidays. I mean, it's such a doddle, isn't it, being a student or a teacher? If you ask me, it should be your nurses and your steel workers that get these long holidays.
Shut up, Martin. The sound of your voice offends me.
Have you had a bit more aggro with Shirley in the flat, have you?
No.
Yeah, I can tell. When you're fiddling with that sugar for the start, and you always start fiddling with something when something's gone wrong.
Oh, aren't we the amateur psychologist? Well, if I were you, I'd get another hobby, because I haven't got any problems. Not with Shirley or the flat. It's been sorted.
Oh, yeah? How's it been sorted?
Because we're both sharing it. Why is it whenever I say that, people react as though the 4-minute warning's just gone off?
So, you and Shirley are going to shack up together then, are you?
No, me and Shirley and I are sharing a flat.
It's the same thing.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, well, probably not in your case.
What do you mean by that?
I'm saying nothing. Except I think you're balmy.
Balmy? Why do you think I'm balmy? You can't make a pejorative statement like that and suddenly clam up.
I didn't know I had made a
pejorative statement. Well, you did.
Oh. Anyway, for the start, the whole idea you got that flat was, you know, to have a good time. Like a fun flat. Just seems to me you've got yourself strapped in a very heavy situation there, Curly. That wasn't the idea at all, was it?
Well, I think it's a very good idea.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Well, I don't think you've got a clue what you're doing, mate, at all. I mean, moving in with a bird. You are making a statement then, aren't you? And in spite of all the big words, you know, I don't think you understand what you're saying at all.
Of course I understand. I've given it a lot of thought.
Oh, yeah? And how involved are you? I mean, you know, do you love her? Or is it just a bit of convenient sex?
I like her. I like her a lot. And any road, how do you know if you love someone? What do you measure it on, a thermometer?
It's a very heavy situation, Curly. Very heavy.
Right. They are, Ivy's over there.
Yeah, I see her.
But best I can do is braised steak and onions with tin pears to follow. Oh, and I do make a drop of very nice custard.
Well, that's more than I can do sometimes. Our Brian used to say to me, Mum, you must be a genius getting all these lumps in this custard.
Wait till you see mine.
Listen, love, have you got no better to do than make a meal for me on your day off?
Unfortunately, no.
You're not too big to have a good ironing, you know.
Don't they ever have a ride off from this pub?
A ride off?
You know, a trip out, a coach trip somewhere.
Oh, cracking, no, not for a long time.
Well, it's livening up this place, don't you think?
Oh, I see. You're just the fellow to do it,
Yes,
aren't
very
you?
likely, yes.
Get up, big head.
Same again.
Yeah. That'll be just £1.56 and cheap at the price. What's up?
Oh, just thought your beer was a bit off last week.
You what?
I said I thought your beer was a bit off, you know, just a bit.
Well, you must have been sucking an oily rag or something before you come in. My bitter's liquid perfection. It always has been. Will you be eating?
No. A banquet at the garage.
I see.
Well, that was a bit tactless, wasn't it? It's true enough, though. I've had guts after a pint in here last week. Oh, now he tells me.
Look at them. They come in here in their overalls looking like flaming grease monkeys. They abuse me ale, they've eaten somewhere else. Do you know, Betty, sometimes I wonder if it's worth trying to run a decent establishment, especially with the class of punters we get round here. What I'd give for a nice little brasserie in the West End.
A what?
Never mind.
Thank you. I forgot to tell you, a mate of yours was looking for you this morning.
Who?
Billy.
Billy Wyatt? What did he want?
I think he's trying to talk himself into a job. He's got a very big opinion of himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, yes.
He's good with the spanner as he reckons.
I don't honestly know, to tell you the truth.
Oh, he might be useful if he is. I'm just going to have a chat with Mum. I'll see you in a minute.
Oh, Martin.
What?
Have you seen Curly this morning?
Yeah, in Jim's car.
Where's he coming here, do you know?
I don't know. He looked like he was getting up on coffee to me. He was on his 4th cup when I left him.
For somebody who's complaining about price of coffee, he's supping enough, isn't it?
Don't seem to be doing him much good either, does it?
Can I have my dinner now, please? I'm fed up of waiting for me, Dad. I'm starving.
Are you sure he didn't tell you where he were going?
Well, I never asked him. I just assumed he was going to the cabin as usual.
Well, he never turned up. You don't think he's collapsed in the street and been taken to hospital, do you?
Well, why should he start collapsing in the street all of a sudden?
Well, he wasn't well this morning. I mean, he could be lying in hospital, unconscious, unidentified. You're always reading about cases like that.
Anyway,
What?
Nothing.
Do you know something?
Well, I think he's skived off. That's what I think he's done.
Skived off? He's a grown fella, not a teenager.
Well, I still think he's skived off.
Well, why would he want to skive off?
Because he's bored out of his mind at the cabin, that's why.
Who says?
I do.
Does he?
Well, no, but I mean...
Well, then you're talking rubbish.
Can I have my dinner now, please?
Oh, yes, go and get your rotten dinner.
Thank you. What, yours?
No.
Hello.
Hello.
Martin said you were me.
Do you want a cup of coffee?
No, thanks. We've only got a few minutes.
What you want, love?
Oh, nothing, thanks. I'm not stopping.
Are them two, you know, like, courting?
Come to think of it, yeah, I've seen them together a lot lately.
An unlikely couple.
Yeah, but they've just made a record-breaking picture about it, haven't they?
About what?
Fatal attraction.
Is there something wrong?
No.
There is. You're having second thoughts, aren't you?
No, I've just had a bad morning. Loads of pressure from various people.
You're not on your own.
Someone been getting at you?
Yeah.
About us sharing...
Yeah. Well, not getting at me exactly. More cracking jokes about it. They all seem to think it's dead funny at work. Except Mrs. Bishop. Well, she's just not speaking.
Well, she gave me a right hard time.
Take it she disapproves.
You can say that again.
Why?
Well, for one thing, she thinks it's immoral. Why it's immoral for two people to share a flat. I don't remember seeing that in the Bible anywhere. Thou shalt not share a flat.
What's immoral anyway?
Lots of things. Cheating, lying, hurting people, being greedy. But not sharing a flat with someone you like.
Yet nobody seems to think it's a good idea.
Well, I've not taken an opinion poll on it.
Well, you're not as enthusiastic.
Well, you don't seem to be.
I was enthusiastic. I hardly slept a wink thinking about it. A sleek grin on my face.
I slept like a log.
So when did you start having doubts?
Oh, in the cool light of dawn, I suppose. But then you always do, don't you? Well, I do, any road. I mean, I make a decision, great. Then a few hours later, it doesn't seem like a good idea. Story of my life. It's called not having the courage of your convictions. And then Mrs. Bishop started having a go at me and Martin.
So, you should scrub it. Is that what you're saying?
No.
What are you saying?
Well, I think we should move in. Because I haven't told you about the third stage.
Third stage?
Well, even after I've had all these doubts, I still think it's a good idea.
Well, nobody can ever accuse you of rushing headlong into it, Curly.
I have never rushed headlong into anything in all my life. Come in.
That was a pretty wild thing to do.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
I've got to get back to work. I'll see you later.
Right. I'll tell Alf.
Right.
How's Audrey?
She's fine. Why do you ask?
I'm just interested.
Oh, well, she's all right. And you can tell that to anybody else who asks at all.
Right. How long did it take Audrey to learn how to drive?
Who says she can drive now?
Oh, come on, Alf. Don't be an MCP. It's just that I'm thinking of learning, and I just wondered how long it took. Tyler.
I'd have you driving in a week.
Oh, would you?
Absolutely, I'm an expert. All you have to do is sit next to me and watch.
Well, thanks very much, but I think I'll do it the hard way and have lessons.
Don't know what you're missing?
I think I do.
This is coffee, love. Crawled out of bed this morning, no coffee. Felt like crawling back in. Can't start the day without a shot of the old caffeine, can
I'm
you?
the same in the morning, only with tea.
Oh, fine. How's Audrey?
You're fine.
Good. See you, love.
All right, ta-ra.
Hold on.
Do you mind if I nip in front of you, mate? I'm a bit pushed.
No, help yourself.
Custard, Alf. Eh? Where do you keep your custard?
Oh, I'm getting it for you, Mr. Brennan.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be making custard. You know, for tea. And I make it a bit thick, don't I? And I burn it. I've only got 10 minutes to get it right before Ivy gets home.
Why don't you give her cream?
I promised her custard, and custard she'll get.
There you go, Mr. Brennan.
Tell her. Put it on Ivy's bill, will you?
Put it on Ivy's, but she hasn't got a flipping bill.
She has now.
Oh.
Can I help you, Curly?
No, I'm just browsing.
Hey, hang about, he's here.
Hiya.
You're in dead lumber, father.
Hey?
Where have you been all day?
I've been out on business.
Well, why didn't you let me know?
Good question.
We were getting worried.
Well, actually, I wasn't, but Rita certainly was.
What were you worried about?
What sort of business? Videos?
Look, what is all this?
You know, I'm enjoying this. This is like when I get in after midnight and you're the interrogator.
No, not videos.
Well, what then?
Hey, you've got him, Rita. He can't say without incriminating himself.
I've got myself a job.
You've got a job at cabin.
Yeah, but he's not keen on that, is he?
Jenny, will you shut up, please? What sort of a job?
Fitting burglar alarms.
Fitting burglar alarms? What for?
For burglars.
Jenny!
That's right, fitting burglar alarms. I'm helping out the bloke that runs the firm.
Well, what about the cabin and the video library?
Well, your Mavis can run that. It doesn't take much, does it? Just passing a few videos over the counter. I can murder a light ale. Is there one in the fridge?
I told you he was round up at the cabin in time. Thanks very much, Mrs. Beaumont. See you again. Hiya, Sal. Oh, what do you want? Something for tea. The cupboard's bare on the fridge. And does it never occur to you to go and get something? No. Can I have some of these beef burgers? One packet and nothing else. Do you know, you've emptied that freezer this week and it's very expensive eating. Convenient, though. Hey, listen, Sal, can I get some chips from Chippy as well on the beef burgers alone won't be enough for Billy. And who says Billy's eating with us? I do. Oh, can I have some money, please? Listen, Sal, has Kev told you? Has he told me what? That Billy might be getting a job at Kev's garage. Oh, yeah, who says? Kev's boss. Oh, Gina, you know. Oh, cheers, Sal. See you later. Did you hear that, Mr. Roberts? Did you? They're taking us over there. They're just taking us over.
Well, it's the same as I say, Sally. Cut other folk out of your life and it's plain selling. It's them that causes all the problems. Are you still here?
Well, I wanted a word.
Have you decided who's having the flat yet?
Yeah.
Who?
Both of us.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Well, how can you both move?
Well, we'll be sharing it. We'll move in next week, or possibly sooner. I just thought I'd let you know. Cheerio.
Is there something the matter, Mr. Roberts?
Where's that lad, Emily?
He's in his room.
You know what's going on, don't you?
Come in now.
He comes in when I've a shop full and springs that on me. I mean, I said he could have that book. Oh, flipping Weatherfield. He's not even in the place yet, and he's trying it on.
He's not a scheming person, Al.
Well, I'm surprised at you, Emily, supporting him.
I'm not supporting him. Not for a moment. I think the whole idea of him and Shirley sharing a flat is appalling. I don't know what his parents are going to think, or hers, come to that.
I don't suppose they'll be fussed.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Now, listen, lad. I said you could have that flat. Not every Tom, Dick or Harry off the street.
Off the streets?
Yeah, what I said
Look,
was
it's Shirley we're talking about. She's not off the street.
I know she's not off the street. Listen, don't you put words in my mouth. What I said was that you could have the flat. Nobody else was mentioned, that's what I'm saying.
You said either me or Shirley. You said you didn't care who.
Yeah, exactly, you or Shirley, not the both of you,
Well,
though.
what's the difference?
Well, they don't need to spell it out, surely.
Well, it was all right for Kev and Sally.
Oh, Norman, they were married.
What's it look like, for heaven's sake?
What does what look like?
I thought you were a college lad. What's it look like if I've got a bloke living over my flipping shop, shacking up with a bird? I've my reputation to think of, you know. What do you think folk are going to say?
What folk?
Me customers. I've got a business to run, you know.
Oh, I see. So now we're bad for business, are we?
You don't know what they think like round here, lad. They'll be up in arms.
Look, this is 1988, Mr. Roberts.
Oh, for crying out loud. Talk to him, will you, Emily?
You surely don't think this arrangement is going to last?
Why not?
Norman, you and Shirley hardly know each other.
I've known her for ages.
Not properly,
Well,
Norman.
I'll get to know her properly, won't I?
Not in my flipping flat, you won't.
Why not?
Emily, do I speak French or what?
No, look, it's all right. I heard what you said, Mr. Roberts.
Hallelujah.
Doesn't make sense, that's all.
You what?
Look, you said you don't want any Tom, Dick or Harry living in the flat. Well, it's not any Tom, Dick or Harry, it's Shirley. And that's okay. Or should be. And it's not that the flat's not big enough. It was all right for you and Mrs. Roberts. It was all right for Kev and Sal. It's just that we're not married and you're worried what people will say because we're living together. Well, as far as I can see, half the flaming neighbourhood's living together. I mean, who's going to complain? Rita Fairclough? No, I'm sorry, but it doesn't make sense, Mr. Roberts. It just doesn't make sense.
OK, Dave, yeah, got it. 13 Whitelaw Road. Don't worry, I'll be there. See you. Bye now. Oh, cheers, love. Listen, can I borrow the car tomorrow morning?
How long will you want it?
Why, using it?
Well, it's booked in for a service. I thought we might go for a run out over the holidays. Lake District or somewhere, you know. What do you need it for?
Well, that was Dave Craig on the phone. He wants me to pick up some gear first thing in the morning and meet him on the site.
Oh.
Listen, I could take the car into Brian Tilsley's when I've done. Don't you want me to borrow it or what?
Why didn't you tell me, Alan?
Tell you what? There's nothing to tell. I went for a job and got it. Where's the crime in that?
You've already got a job at Cabin.
Anyone can run that video library, can't they? Honestly, I thought you'd be pleased.
It's not the job. It's the way you just ignore me. Any decisions about your life, and I don't feature, do I? I mean, it was you that went to see Dave Craig. He didn't materialise out of thin air and force you into making a snap decision, did he?
Yeah, you're right. I should have discussed it with you. But look, it's done now, isn't it? So can we forget about it? I mean, I've got a job. I'm going to have a few quid in my pocket. Never mind about the lakes. Come Easter Monday, I'll be driving you out to Disneyland. How's that? Now, can I borrow the car?
Yes, Alan, you can borrow the car.
It just looked as though he was about to burst into flames, and that was that. Collapse a stout party.
We can move in then. Seriously.
Well, I think so, until he comes up with another argument. So until then, it's ours.
Oh, is it going to be horrible, though? Watching who we have round and forever complain about the noise and stuff. Saying we have to use his dustbin for bean cans.
Ah, we'll be all right. He just gets frightened by things. You know, new things. A lot of people are like that. I'm like that.
Kill it.
Hmm?
When do you reckon I'm moving in?
Oh,
Well, look, because if I was looking for a reason why we can't, well, the sooner the better, isn't it?
yeah, I see what you mean.
This weekend.
This weekend?
Well, why not?
Oh, yeah. Why not? I mean, it's Easter, isn't it? It's traditional. Rebirth. New beginnings and all that.
You're terrified.
Me? No. What of?
Me?
Well, yeah, a little.
Can only eat you for me.
That's a bit I'm looking forward to. Look, man of action, me. Look, I'll go out and get some things together. I'll get a bed and a cooker, pots and pans, a few bits of furniture. I've got some mates in the trade.
Oh, second-hand stuff?
Of course it's second-hand stuff.
Second-hand bed?
Well, yeah.
Oh, no, someone might have died in it, you never know.
Oh, yeah, I never thought that.
We'll get a new bed, eh?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. What about my old bed? What do you reckon?
Well, how should I know?
Oh, it's at my mum's. It's a good bed.
Oh, it's not single, is it?
No, it's a fair size.
And you never died in it, promise.
Never. Not once. Look, I'll get a van together and I'll go round and pick it up tomorrow.
All right.
Right.
I think it would be sensible if you went to see your parents, Norman. Bed or no bed. I'll be interested to hear what they think of your plans to share a flat.
Right, thank you, Mrs. McDougall. Mind how you go now.
Oh, sorry, love.
Aye. Hey, isn't it wonderful what a bit of sunshine does for the first thing in the morning for folk? It seems to get in the very souls.
I suppose so. Do you have a packet of that ham?
You certainly can.
Not that I'll be seeing much of it today.
Oh, why's that?
I'm a working man now, aren't I? Burglar alarm, supply and installation, started this morning.
Oh, yeah? Part-time, is it?
You're joking. No. I've just taken an hour off to take Rita's car into Brian Tolls's. Oh, I'm on my way back now. And this is me snap. All I need now is a flat cap and a pair of clogs and I'm away, aren't I?
Hey, did you see what? That's 137.
Listen, I can't thank you enough. What for now? Oh, that job of Billy's, eh? Best thing that could have happened to him.
Yeah, well, don't thank me. It was Brian and Kevin that gave him a chance, and it'll be Brian and Kevin he'll have to answer to if he lets them down.
I wonder how he's getting on.
Well, if he's a grafter, Gina, he'll be all right, I should reckon.
Oh, he can work, can Billy. He's a grafter when he wants daft sod.
Listen, can I borrow that new jumper?
No.
Oh, why?
Why? Because it's new.
Oh, I knew you'd say that. Listen, Sal, you know that old flat of yours upstairs?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, I was thinking, how about if me and Billy moved into it? I mean, it'd be brilliant. I'd be right here next door to you.
Because it's taken.
Oh, it's not.
Yes, it is. Curly's got it.
Curly?
Yeah.
Typical.
He's got it for him and his girlfriend, actually.
Oh, we could have had that.
No, you couldn't, because Mr. Roberts wanted references and all sorts.
Yeah, well, he could have had a reference.
And who would have given you a reference?
Of course.
Got them ready. Did you get the message about the one with brown sauce and mustard?
I did.
It's a new girl we've got in Packington, so I've got some funny ideas.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, ringing the nose and all sorts.
Ah, well, it might give them something else to talk about for a bit then. Be a change from Audrey.
Audrey?
Yes, Audrey. There was a couple of your lasses in here this morning. I overheard them talking about her. I mean, I know she's been away for a fair bit, but even so, there's no need to go
Hang on, Alf. I don't know nothing about this.
Well, you don't?
No.
You must be the only one round here that doesn't, then.
Well, that's something else happened.
No, nothing's happened. Look, she's still in Canada, she's still doing a Florence Nightingale bit, and she still intends to come home as soon as possible, so you can tell that to your mates. I know it's not as good a story as some that are flying around, but at least it's a fact. Can I help you, love? What's up?
Right.
What's on me, lads? Right.
And with what can I serve the troops?
Right, well, man's a pint, so is Kev's. Billy?
See him again, boss, thanks.
3 pints of the very best foaming ale, eh?
Well, 3 of that stuff you sell, anyway.
We've got a bit of a wag with us, haven't we? A bit of a card.
No, mate, just been here before, that's all.
Really? Do you want to come again?
I'm only joking, mate.
Good. I like a joke.
Aye, it's worth working for you if you get the drinks in as well.
Well, don't worry, mate. I don't make a habit of it.
Oh, you say that again.
Yeah, what's you? Billy, mate, I'm pleased with you. You've done a good job today.
Thanks. I'll have a batch of repairs if you want.
No, you stick to service.
Yeah, and he means cars, by the way.
Well, there's something up, I can tell you that, because I can't get a word out again. And that's for Alf. You should have heard him this morning. He nearly bit my head off. I never said a word.
No?
No, I went to doing pound cakes, mind my own business.
I believe you. How's your pint?
Well, oh, I've had better. Listen, I am family when all's said and done. And if Audrey had left out...
Left him?
Well, that seems to be what everybody's talking about.
Well, what does Alf say?
I've just told you, bit me flipping head off.
Well, there's your answer then, isn't it?
How do you mean?
Look, if you don't want your nose bit off, don't go stick it in other folks' business. When there's hope to know, I'm sure you'll be one of the first to be told.
Yeah, Betty, down the last penny. Had to raid the piggy bank this afternoon.
Give over with you. Got more in your piggy bank than I've got in my bank.
Oh, hang on a minute. What you gonna have, darling?
Oh, just a grapefruit juice, please, thanks.
And a grapefruit juice.
Okay, lovely.
You look a bit miserable, darling. What's up?
Do I? No, I'm all right.
Where's Alan?
He's working. Got himself a job.
Oh, great. What's he up to?
Fitting burglar alarms. Him and this other fella.
Brilliant. That's where the money is these days.
There we are. Come on, break that piggy bank. 40p, lovely. Are you all right? Yes, thanks. Cheers.
Oh, so it's a 20, Betty.
What did I tell you?
So what are you looking so miserable for, then?
I didn't know I was.
I tell you, you can't go wrong. Plays his cards right, a couple of months. He'll be taking it to the Bahamas.
Really? Well, that's an advance on Disneyland.
No, no.
Well, it hasn't been you since I last slept in it, has it? Well, go and ask her. Give her a shout. Poor old Dad. You can't do anything without asking her first. Oh, I'm sorry about the call, Mrs. Bishop. I will pay for it, honest.
It's not the call I'm worried about.
Probably be half an hour now while they have the great big debate. Can he have it? Can't he have it? Will he scratch the paint, bringing it downstairs? Oh, hello, Dad. That was quick. Yeah? I can. Oh, great. Yeah, of course I'll look after it. Look, I'll get a van this afternoon and I'll call round for it, about 4-ish. Yeah. Will you be in to give us a hand? You will? Oh, great. Look, I'll see you then, Dad. All right. Bye-bye. I've got a bed.
So I hear.
Pick it up this afternoon.
Seem to be going about it with a great deal of haste, Norman.
Well, me and Shirley were talking and, well, I thought the sooner the better, really.
Really?
Well, there's nothing to stop us now, is there? With it being Easter, you know. And now that we've got the, well, you know, it could even be tonight, I suppose.
How was that, father-in-law?
Would it be better without that racket? I don't know how you're working here with that going on all day. Drive anybody crackers.
Stop showing your age,
Not
lad.
to do with me, age, it'll drive anybody crackers.
I like it.
Yeah, well, it's driven you crackers already, hasn't it?
Full of the joys of spring today, I see.
I don't suppose you'll be so chipper. Woken at 3 o'clock with a reverse charge from Toronto.
How is she?
Oh, she's fine. She's always fine. Nothing ever seems to ruffle her. Seems the lad's getting better and all.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, meanwhile I'm stuck here with all these flipping gossips having a field day. Didn't say anything about coming home, you know. No, I asked her like, but she ducked it. Started telling me about these shoes she bought. You know what Philip was saying, don't you?
What?
That she's not coming back. She's left me.
What?
Well, you can't blame her, can you? Time she's been away.
You're not going to believe that sort of rubbish, are you?
I don't know what to believe anymore. I mean, if she stays away much longer, I don't suppose she's told yours, has she?
Honest, Alf, I don't know any more than you do. But if you're going to listen to that sort of tittle-tattle, you'd have to give you credit for.
All right. Anyway, thanks for it, Diddle. I'll leave you till it's boogie-woogie.
Hey, Ralph. Fine act. Takes years off you, this music, doesn't it?
Ah, years. I'll see you.
Yeah, love. Hey, stick B23 on, will you? Oh, stick B23 on.
Talking to me, a tune a brick.
Oh, hey, if you want to waste your money, you know, play something else. Up to you.
What are you sitting there for?
Because I like it.
What do you do for kicks? Watch paint dry.
Anyway, where's that bloke of yours?
It's working.
What's he do?
It's a mechanic.
Oh, is he, man? You, fancy a cuppa?
Okay.
All right, then. I'll get you a cuppa.
Well, my 3-point term was an 11-point term. It's had me up on the pavement on one side and threatening a poodle on the other. Honestly, it'll be 1992 before I get me tested.
Oh,
this
you want
grade.
some of that in? Take you out. He'd show you what's what, wouldn't you, love?
Hey, do us a favour. I'm only here for a cup of tea.
See you, love, today.
Sit down.
Here, come on, Nick, have this on me.
Oh, cheers, fellas. Actually, I want 2.
Oh, you do?
Oh, please.
Well, in that case, it's your treat, Martin, isn't it? So that'll be 60p.
Oh, come on, fellas.
60p.
Right. I bet they haven't killed the fatted calf.
Good to see you, Norman.
Hello, Dad.
Come in. It's been quite a while, hasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, I must be. Sorry.
Don't you worry. You've got enough on without running down here every 5 minutes.
Well, if you had transport, I'd be down, no trouble, but...
Of course you would. Come on through. Your mother's just got a leg up.
Right.
Here he is. Here's the student.
Hello, Mum.
Hello, Norman. Have you had a hard drive?
No, it's okay. It's been fine, thanks. How are you?
Oh, I'm just resting my leg, Norman. I'm fine. I see your hair's still like that.
Well, he's a student, isn't he? If you can't look like that when you're a student, when can you, eh, son?
Well, it's nothing to do with us anyway.
Time for a brew, haven't you?
Well, I can't stop long, Dad, but yeah, that'd be nice.
Of course it would. I'll get the pot on.
I'm glad to see you sorting yourself out at last, Norman. I don't have to tell you how concerned we've been about you.
Yeah, I know, Mum.
If I'd had my way, you'd have gone to college straight after leaving school. Instead of all that waste of time with dustbins and what have you.
Yeah, I know, Mum. Sorry.
Now, I always suspected that landlady of yours wasn't up to much. I mean, if she's the sort to encourage you to do that kind of job.
Well, no, she was just...
Anyway, you're educating yourself at last and moving out. It's a step in the right direction, Norman.
It's our Mum.
Sorry, son, I've forgotten. Do you take milk and sugar?
Just milk, please, Dad.
Right, son.
Oh, I'm dead bored, me ass. Then why don't you go home and cook our tea or something? Because I don't want to. Oh, I'm fed up with Billy having that job. Ah, you've changed your tune since this morning, haven't you?
Yeah, well, there's nothing to do, is there?
Flipping heck. Are you here again? Haven't you got anything better to do than natter my staff?
Charming.
Look, every time I turn round, you're here. Sally has got work to do, even if you haven't. Go on, sling your hook.
Well, what have I done to you? I'm only standing here.
Go on home, Gina. You're not in the mood today, are you?
No, I'm not in the mood. I'm sorry, lassie, it's nothing to do with you, but Sally says I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, well, there's no need to take it out on me, is there?
Shut up, Gina.
Look, Sally, I've just about had enough today. Could you lock up for me and give me the key later?
Yeah, of course, Mr.
Hello, Mr. Roberts.
Hello, love.
Nearly finished up there now.
Are you still set on moving in tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, who am I to argue? Everything all right up there?
Yeah, I just need some stuff like soap, washing up liquid, tin opener, pot towels.
Hey,
that
you
sort of
don't get
you know.
stuff like that with a rented flat, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I've come in here to buy them.
Oh. Oh.
What's all this? You take your cars off and park yourself, it'll be 20 minutes.
Whose birthday is it?
Sarcasm will get you nowhere. Meanwhile, can I get you a glass of wine?
You can. Didn't know it, would you believe it?
Hey, there's this girl in our class, right? Well, her mum and dad, he was unemployed, you see. And he was forever around the house, you know, getting in her way, getting under her feet, and getting to be right pain in the what's it. Well, they came right close to packing it all in, you see. Then one day he got himself a job. But it weren't an ordinary job. He was a deckhand on a trawler. 5 nights a week at sea.
I know,
and...
love. And they all lived happily ever after.
Oh, come on, Rita.
Love, I'm happy for Ellen. Truly. We should have talked, that's all. But it's all forgotten now. I shall put on my best smile and nobody will know the difference. Hey, what's cooking? It smells foreign.
It's moussaka.
Oh, I could murder it. Thanks, love.
Oh. Hey, what's all this? What's that I can smell? Toad in the hole?
Wrong. Miles out. You sit down, put your feet up. There's a glass of wine coming.
Well.
Right, now come on. Tell us. How did it go?
Not bad at all, love. Not bad at all.
Good. Right, well, let's drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mind the paint on the side there.
You back out there, Norman.
Are you all right, Dad?
Yes, I'm fine.
Right.
There. Drop it down.
That wasn't as much trouble as it might have been, was it?
No trouble at all.
It's a good bed, that, Norman. You look after that.
Yeah, of course.
I know you will. Be nice to see your flat. I'm looking forward to coming to visit you.
Yeah, so am I, son.
Well, the thing is, I should tell you, I won't be on my own.
Oh?
That's a good thing. I don't like the idea of you being on your own.
No, I'll be sharing.
Oh, one of your mates from college, is it, son?
No.
Who is it, then?
Well, she's a friend of mine. I've known her for years, actually. We've got to know each other a bit better recently.
Take the bed back upstairs, would you, Harry? I'm going to rest my leg.
Look at that. Perfect dandy, a perfect day.
Hey, what you on about? You hasn't started yet.
Oh, she's been pining for you, Billy. She has pining.
Don't they all?
Well, I can think of 1 or 2 who might not.
Yeah, me for one.
So how did your birthday go, then?
Cracker. What are you drinking?
Oh, blimey, he's spending his wages already. I'll have half a lager, Tom.
Hey, what about me, you?
Oh, jug of water, barmaid, please.
Ha, ha, ha. Tomato juice, please.
Oh, hey.
Thanks. Hi, Matt. All right.
Yeah. Is this a private party, or can anyone join in?
Feel free. Any friend of Gina's is a friend of mine.
Yeah. Do you want to give me that? Yeah, love one. Another pint when you're ready, Glow, please.
Cheers, Kev.
Well, it's hard for me to say, really. I'm always a bit conscious of myself when I go in the corner shop. You know, there's always that feeling of, well, I won the election and I'm the councillor now. I don't know if Alf still feels it, but I do. Actually, I'm sure he does. So it's a bit difficult for me to judge Alf's mood, really.
Well, I think he's in a bit of a state. Still, if he wanted an easy passage through life, the last person should have married is my mother.
Oh, yes, she's good value, isn't she? Any idea when she'll be coming home?
No, not yet. Hello, Emily.
No, I
Hi.
hope I'm not interrupting.
No, of course you're not. Come and join us.
Oh, do you mind if I do?
No, of course not.
Oh, I just had to get out of the house for a while. It's all getting a little oppressive.
What is?
This Norman and Shirley business.
Oh, yes, love's young dream, eh?
Mm.
Oh, come on, Emily. You've got to admit it's exciting.
Is it?
I heard they were moving in tonight. Is that right?
Well, just at the moment, it seems that that idea is being treated with the contempt it deserves.
Sonny, a bed.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get a bed, don't worry.
I'm not worried. It's just a bit of a sickener.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 25 years of age and they still treat me like a kid.
You probably wish you were.
It's not me dad. He just does as he's told. I wish he'd stand up to her a bit.
Couldn't you have stood up to her?
How? I couldn't say I'm having it. I couldn't drag it out the house. I couldn't steal it, could I?
No.
No, I'm sorry, Shirley.
Don't be daft. It's only a bed, and it's only tonight. We were rushing it a bit.
Yeah, well, we were a bit.
See what happens tomorrow, eh?
Hmm.
And if not tomorrow, it's always the next day. I prefer it tomorrow, though.
You can see all this week's episodes in the classic Coronation Street Omnibus on Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. But tomorrow afternoon, Plus brings you classic mysteries from Crib, Poirot and Sherlock Holmes between midday and 5. But back to tonight, No Place Like Home is next.